Hi guys, you're live on the Archie Luxury live stream channel. We got Dis with us today, Dis, and
Hey,
we're talking. What are we talking today? We're talking independence. Kudoke and Urwek. Guys, we've also got a special guest. Dis is joining us. Let's run the intro and let's talk some watches. And a very special hello and welcome to Dis. How are you, my friend Dis?
I'm doing great. I still have things to solve with myself, but I'm getting there very quickly.
Hey, that's fantastic. And speaking of things to solve, the problem fixer is in the house. Mr. Clooney is in the house. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hi, gentlemen. Hi, Dis. Hi, Pontiff.
Hello
Hello.
there. How's it going today?
It's going good, man. It's going really well.
So, tell me this, Bear.
hmm
Um, what we're doing independence today. This is a topic from
No, no,
um
no. We're not doing independence. We're doing
with one.
specifically two independence as per super chat and request from the Cosmic.
And don't forget,
Um,
guys, for $25, you can request tomorrow's or any day's topic.
any topic that you would like to be brought up to our channel, to Pontiff's channel, to the best live stream on YouTube. $25, you put your topic, and then the following day or the day at your request, it's up to you. It would be titled that title plus buy and your name. So this is something new we started. We did a segment for an hour and a half with topic from Ron the Shrink. And today we're doing the Cosmic. We're doing the Cosmic regarding two German watchmakers, independent watchmakers, which is the Kudoki and Erwerk, two very interesting brands.
Yes,
Certainly
sir.
not. I was not as familiar with Erwerk. I never had opportunity
Mhm.
to actually hold the Erwerk in my hands, or God willing to put it on my wrist. I was
Mhm.
a little more familiar with much more attainable watch from Kudoki. Not that it's
Yes.
just being attainable doesn't make it a lower quality, but I would like to actually start this, if you don't mind, Pontiff. I would like
Mhm.
to start this with a bit of questions and answers, because I think Erwerk is the brand that many have heard of, but not
Mhm.
many had experienced. And I think Erwerk is the brand that many are not privileged to actually own. I also hope that Higgy might join us. He did see the topic, and he said if he manages to wake up, he will join us. So if we have now slowly building up our viewership, and we can start. And I hope the Cosmic is here, and that he can give us a feedback on our presentation. So to begin, I mean, the question by many will be asked: what is Erwerk? What are the characteristics of the brand? And what is specific and typical for Erwerk? Well, to
Mhm.
begin, it's a brand that produces, a German brand, produces very unconventional timepieces. and it's kind of nouvelle horology. And signature of the brand, if we wanna take something that presents the signature of all the watches they make, is the very creative display of time. And it's usually done in what they like to call satellite format, which is fitted into even more creative case. So that's a typical thing for the brand. The name Erwerk too is very interesting. It's actually coming from two words, which is and it represents a location in Iraq where the founders of the brand believe that timekeeping has started, and the word Werk, which is German word for work. So this brand is often brought up in discussions and kind of belongs with the brands such as MB&F, HYT, and maybe even Harry Winston. So it's often seen as the non-conforming brand and brand that breaks the conservative norms of Swiss watchmaking. It has a lot of respect and truly a lot of admiration from the watch geeks, from the watch collecting crowd. By the way, Archie, I need to interrupt this to ask you to see and take a look at your PayPal.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Mike.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey.
And would you do me a favor, Archie? I got to be honest with you, it annoys me. It annoys me when you eating and making those noises like a fucking dogs during the show. It's you know what?
Here we go.
You're not that old.
Okay, here we go. Tanzil. Good morning, AC3 Bear and Dis. Another fantastic day here in London. Have a great show. Sending some support from Bear's former hometown. Like, subscribe, and tell your Fikehead friends about our channel. $50, Bear. That's a very substantial
Thank you,
PayPal.
Tanzil. The London was at one time my hometown. I hope you enjoy tremendously, man. We miss you. Can't wait to see you back, but enjoy every moment there because you deserve it and you're such a good man. We love you. We love you, Tanzil. So as I said, it's a very non-conforming type of brand, Swiss watchmaking, and it does have a lot of respect. I see that this is the brand that is really thriving on design, unique design, and they're successfully blending the tradition with futuristic vision. It's a watches that are very futuristic. Now, these are not cheap watches. Okay, let's clarify that. It's a watches that go in pricing between 50 to 150,000 euros, and it is a brand that is demanding such a price as a result of materials, technology, quality, and everything that goes with it. So, as I mentioned, the interest. Go ahead, Archie.
How does this brand fit in with MB&F? Like, MB&F is more expensive than Urwek?
As I said to you yesterday, I'm not going to really focus on the pricing and value retention and all that during these presentations. If someone wants that, they can super chat, and we will certainly talk about money. But it is that style. It goes in line. I think MB&F is probably a little considered a little more prestigious, or not really. I mean, they're probably a little more in demand. It's a very similar. Maybe like Omega and Rolex type of thing. I don't know. I have a difficulty really finding a proper comparison for those two. Now, the brand was actually fine. It's a young brand. It's a very young brand, and it was founded by
Yes.
by two watchmakers, Felix Baumgartner and Martin Fry, and
7.
they were. You have a super chat from Cosmic. Thank you, Cosmic. I'm glad you're
Cosmic.
here.
$50. $50 Bear. Great introduction and thoughtful perspective on the topic. Thanks.
My pleasure.
Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure, Cosmic. I'm honored that you're here, and I'm honored that you approved the intro. So Felix is a master watchmaker, and he was born in a master watchmaker's family. So there is a family tradition, and he learned the craft in his own father's atelier, and
Yes.
he went to prestigious watchmaking school, and then awarded diploma in 1995. So not soon after that, I believe 1997. To be honest with you, I haven't wrote down that, but it's a young brand. He met the graphic designer, whose name is Martin, and those two gentlemen, designer and watchmaker, came up with this whole new approach, a new partnership called Erwerk. And yeah, that name I think is very cool. See, this was actually ancient Mesopotamian city, and Mesopotamia was the basically cradle of civilization. Located.
Mesopotamia. Yes. They
That's
invented
right.
paper, didn't they? The paper in that there.
They invented. That's true, Archie. Papyrus, right? And
Yes.
they have really a lot of inventions. So this is located in today's area of today's Iraq. They were discussing and measuring time, first documented time measuring in history, which was, believe it or not, over 6,000 years ago. So is also the city responsible specifically for dividing time units into 60 parts, a concept that would lead to the usage of 60 seconds, minutes, and hours. So that 60 thing was really first invented in And being the German brand and being the German language is introduced as well. Du verstehst Deutsch, Archie?
Yes.
Good.
Und sprechen die Deutsch und Entschuldigen Sie bitte.
Sehr good, sehr good. And the word work in German means work in the context of probably we can say creation and evolution of the brand. So what's unique, I said, is this design, and let's be honest, the next thing that comes to mind discussing is that their watches look pretty wild. So
Yes.
we can ask, when they were asked and when people were interested, how did they come up with such a designs? Because they're very unique designs. It's primarily the designer part is Martin Fry. And this is outsider from the world of horology. He's not a watchmaker. He is a guy that is creative part of this fantastic duo. His art school influence came into own when he realized that that wristwatch is a form of art. It's a sculptural form of art. And he loved the idea that this sculptural form of art is actually something that can be functional. He's a very eccentric in his approach, and he translates that eccentricism and that futuristic design into this brand. And you can actually see elements of some science fiction in it. From, like, for example, I see a lot of influence, like from movies like Star Wars, and I think technical aspect of this. It's almost like they're such a great duo and perfectly complement each other. The watchmaker Baumgartner is the one that now gets the design and ensures that there is a functionality, horological functionality, movement that will be capable handling the crazy and out of a norm design of and aesthetics that were brought by the Fry. The brand aesthetics are very much they have their roots into, and you can see that in a steampunk. There's elements of Art Deco. There is elements of futurism, and I think this is what sets them apart from many other watches. Many people, when they approach this brand originally, they have a difficulty understanding and seeing how do I read the time on these watches, because it's not traditional. It's not something that we're used to. It's not something that we are adapted to, and it's actually not that difficult. It's just different. So I'm going to say that I can even, when I was researching this, I can tell you I actually find that the reading time is in a way more intuitive. And if you bring like, for example, UR -210, which we can take as an example, that would be a hint for you to search UR-210, Archie, if you don't mind.
You mean 120? You mean 120 or 210?
UR-210. Just pause eating and do a little search, and we can take that as an example here from the perspective of the time reading, and what makes it so different than a regular three-hand watch. So this model is probably the model that would be like that embodies. Thank you, by the way, Archie. That embodies the satellite format. So this truly embodies the satellite format for displaying the time. And then we can see the cube. We can see the cube featuring hours, which are engraved on. You had the previous picture, which was better picture.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
A cube featuring 4 hours engraved on 4 of its sides. Flies above from 0 to 60 scale, indicating the minutes. And then the numbers that shows on up on the cube of that scale is the current hour, right? So
yes, sir.
And a point at where it meets the scale that indicates the minute. That's quite. That's actually intuitive. When you get used to it, it is intuitive, yet it's unique. And I think this defines the brand and its effects that can be observed on these watches. The brand is a Swiss brand. I mean, I keep talking German, but they're German, right?
Yes.
They're Germans. But it is a Swiss brand. They're made in Switzerland. Parts of the watch are made in Zurich, while the technical research and prototyping are done in a town Aarau, also in Switzerland. The head office is in Geneva, and it is also the facility for final assembling is in Geneva as well. Contrary to Kudoki, opposite from Kudoki, which we will touch on today as well.
Yes.
Makes them, they're very expensive pieces.
By the way, just to clarify there, they're actually in the German-speaking region of Switzerland, just out of interest. Erwerk is in the, they're in the German-speaking. A bit like IWC. Right.
And the question could be why they're so expensive. And I mean, we're dealing here with the high horology, and we're dealing with cutting edge materials, and we're dealing with quite unusual, eccentric display of the time. We're dealing with designing unusual cases. Also, let's keep something in mind. They're not producing a lot of watches per year. They're producing about 150 pieces a year. And yeah, of course, it's going to be expensive watch. Now, question about the movement is often asked question in our community is, are they made in house? Well, nearly all Urwek watches have base movements made by Zenith and Archie, proudly I can say Gerard Perregaux, which
Wow.
with a I mean, just so you know that I was happy to see that, and I said, hey, I'm gonna slap that on Archie. With obviously now additional modules are always developed in house, and this is what allows for them to create these quite unusual displays. The movements are heavily reformatted, reworked, redesigned, and they do not ignore the finishing on their watch as well. So the finish is also quite exquisite. Question also often asked is, are they independent brand? And yes, they are very proud and very proudly carry the independent brand status. They're completely independent, which means they're not a part of any luxury conglomerate of brands. When
Higgy's
we ask
in the
ourselves,
house. Higgy's there.
hey,
Very
Higgy, welcome,
proudly.
welcome, Higgy. Yeah, drop him the link. And to wrap it up with what I see as a significance of Erwerk in the world
Good
of
night,
Warcraft 5.
Dis is going to bed. Good night, Dis. Thank you for coming on. We really sorry we didn't get to talk to you much. We love you, Dis. And sorry, as you were saying, Bear, we've got Higgy's in the house.
Hey, Higgy, now I'm nervous. Okay, that's it. I'm nervous.
Don't be
now.
nervous.
I did the research, Higgy. I did my homework, and to conclude my short presentation of this brand that I always admired from the distance, but I never really dig deep into it. Now I can tell you that, yeah, this is one very original voice in the watchmaking, and they are, you know what? They are, as I said, young brand since '97. They managed to influence new generation of watchmakers that don't feel the need to conform to very rigid existing norms, right? That we have in horology. So the brand is kind of like was breaking through, revolutionary in the aspect of creating something different, something new from the perspective of design and layout and architecture of the movement. I would say it is as significant as we can imagine. It's immeasurable from the perspective that I just mentioned. And that's my short intro or presentation on such an important brand that I also find personally appeals to me. I'm a huge fan of futuristic design. And to me, this is something I would love to own. Unfortunately, price point is beyond my ability. However, I did enjoy researching what I just was talking about.
Very, very good indeed. They've just got some super chats. Let me catch up. Run the Shrink, $5. Can we mute Higgins for 5 minutes? Oh, we can mute him later, but not now because we want to get some juice out of him. I need to prepare myself to be thoroughly bored and get some caffeine first.
He's just trolling.
He's joking.
He's just trolling. Yeah, of course.
And we got another super chat from Thomas Burnett. £5. The wandering hours mechanism that you, her, and others adopt was first introduced on the 1991 AP Star Wheel. Interesting. What do you think of Erwerk there, Jonathan?
It is one of so first of all, good morning to everyone, and thank you very much for having me on the show.
Good morning.
So
good morning.
I set my alarm clock because Urwek is one of my favorite brands, one of my guilty pleasures.
Do you have one?
No. Unfortunately, I don't have one. I always had other watches that I wanted to buy, but I have a very soft spot for Urwek. And I just wanted to show you where Urwek started, and Bear was putting that pretty well. Urwek makes a passion, or their business model is to display the time in a different mode than a traditional watch, and by doing that, they are very creative and very off the normal paths, and that is how they started with a watch that had two displays or two apertures, no hands, and it shows the hour in a digital kind of way, and then the minutes on that little track below, and you read the time there. It's 8:17 or something on this particular watch.
And if I'm not mistaken, haven't they made some really, also, very unique pieces that were belt driven?
That is not Urwek. That is a different company, but there is a company that makes those belt-driven displays of
Okay.
time.
Yeah, there's a couple of companies that really, diverge from the norm when it comes to the standard watch, shape wise and function wise, and I mean they're really just out there, like Erwerk's here, and one or two other companies I can't think of the name of, but they're incredible in how they've thought about.
Devon does the belt-driven watches.
Yeah.
That's the brand.
Yeah, and there's some that are some have chain drive, and but yeah, it's just it's very cool to see a couple of companies really diverging from the standard, to come to show a very unique, way of showing the time, their own way.
Yeah.
It's like completely different than anybody else's. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, the prices reflect it. And
Patel Philip wants to know how do you see in this watch dueling swan necks, and Jimmy wants to know, do these watches ring your bell? Tell us, please, Caesar.
Asking me?
Yeah.
Well, the watch previous had looked like almost like triple swan necks on the tri-rotor that you were talking about earlier,
Right.
Bear. But I don't think they were officially swan necks. They were just parts of the mechanism that were shaped similarly.
Yeah, Mikey, they're just teasing you. They're joking, of course.
Of course, and yeah, I mean, yes, in a sense, this does ring my bell just because of its
Mikey,
uniqueness.
I think we should give the floor to a little more to Higgins, please. He actually woke up
Oh,
early.
by all means.
This is a man that has a lot to offer on this topic.
Look, I will mute myself right now.
No.
You don't have to do that.
No, you're over exaggerating my contribution. I just wanted to show a little bit where Urwek comes from, and one of their signature pieces are those rotating cubes that they have on a kind of carousel, and those cubes have 4 different numbers, and you can see them rotating when they're not used. So they're always displaying the time. On this particular model, which is I think the 210. I'm very bad with references, so I have to.
This is a U.
No, 202.
210, yes.
No, it's 202. And one.
Sorry. This is the image that Jonathan pulled up there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one of their signature pieces is the 202, and you can see that little pin that goes on the minute track, and that pin extends and goes back. If you watch that pin, it extracts and goes back to adopt to the minute track that you see. Maybe Archie, you can remove my friend Thomas's super chat that we can see the watch better. So, but those those cubes with those carousels are really some of their signature pieces, and that is part of their technology of displaying the time in an alternative way. So what is also very significant for them is they have those kind of turbines on many of their models.
Yeah.
Those turbines are connected to the rotor, and those are air brakes. So they spin very fast by being connected to the rotor, and they slow the rotor down when the rotor is spinning too fast, when the watch is being heavily accelerated. And you can even set the sensitivity of those air brakes or turbines on that lever on this particular model. By the
Are those air brakes exposed to the outer atmosphere, or are they encased
no, they're
inside?
inside.
Okay.
Because outside would be a little bit difficult with all the water resistant.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
And also it'd be on your wrist. It'd be touching your wrist and you get contaminants in there.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to answer to Anthony, who he probably logged in a little later. The Max Bowser did not find Erwerk. It was Felix Baumgartner, who is the actual watchmaker, and Martin Fry, who is actual designer. These two guys have founded this brand in 1997, and the CEO is the Felix Baumgartner.
Yeah. So what I really enjoy about the show tonight is that that we forced Bear to do some research and go out of his comfort zone, and I really enjoy that. I can see the sweat on your forehead, but I think it's an enjoyable ride because you're. I'm pretty sure by researching a little bit about Urwek, you discovered a lot of unusual things.
Yes,
and that is part of the enjoyment and part of the journey, isn't it?
absolutely. I have to say that I have discovered here through this process that we started kind of instinctively to give us a topic. Even the previous day when we were doing Hidden Secrets, I kind of forced myself to investigate, to research things that I otherwise probably would never touch on. And going into the world of independence is certainly quite interesting, and then digging into deeper and figuring out how something started and why it started and what makes it unique and so on. That part I really enjoy. I'm not technically knowledgeable to fully understand the movement and so on, but the basics, yeah, definitely. And this brand definitely appeals to me. And by the way, I made a mistake. I didn't mean Star Wars, Star Trek. I am a Star Wars fan, but design quite a bit gives me the Star Trek feel, and I like that. I actually thought it was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yes, Star Wars and Star
Very
Trek is
interesting.
The one interesting thing that I found in my reading about Erwerk, by the way, was that Erwerk introduced in 2018 the atomic sympathetic clock, and that was actually kind of reference to the sympathetic clock that was developed by Breguet. So the base was an electric atomic clock, the master clock, which was able to wind, adjust, regulate the mechanical wristwatch. It was via serial of mechanical pins and triggers. And I thought that was so fucking cool. If you want to Google it, Archie, just put
I have it
Erwerk.
on the screen.
Oh, sorry, I am. I'm just yapping and not looking.
Yeah, and no, you put it correctly. The concept of the sympathetic is something really old, and one of the invention of Abraham Louis Breguet, and he invented a kind of desk clock where you put a pocket watch inside, because at that time the wristwatch even didn't exist, and the next morning the watch was not only wound by the master clock, it was also set correctly. And
How cool is that? How
yeah.
cool is that? Honestly, it's almost like you watch those movies where there's a code that needs to be unlocked, centuries ago, and you enter into this machine that is so mechanical. I love the idea that it's so mechanical. I don't know how to explain, but that was something that stood out to me as a very interesting connection between the two iconic times, Breguet and Erwerk. So they really nodded to the past in that as well. I like that they're almost rebellious. They're almost like they're challenging norms, industry norms. They are creative. There's a lot of things to love about Erwerk, and I'm really glad that Cosmic brought it up. It's an interesting how he picked these two independents. They're very different. Kudoki I was much more familiar with because I was actually looking to buy Kudoki, okay? And I love the design. We'll talk a little more about it after as a second part of the requested topic. But I knew very little about Erwerk prior to this.
So I just have it here on the screen how that Urwek AMC concept works. So you have your wrist watch, which is seen here, and then you have that receiver of the atomic master time. So the base is connected to the atomic master clock here in Europe, and you put that watch into this master. Into this master clock here,
Yep.
and it winds your watch then and automatically sets it. And not only it sets it, it also synchronizes it. So when you
that has to be electronic, then, isn't it? It's electronic watch, then, isn't it?
No, the watch itself is mechanical.
Right.
The master clock is electronic. But
Right.
but the watch that you're wearing is mechanical, and that is part of their shtick. So it's not a quartz watch. It's not.
What the fuck does that thing cost, Jonathan? That must cost a fortune.
Oh,
sorry, we're not talking about money.
yeah. I love that we're not talking about money. Actually, I don't know the price of this one. I have an idea about the other ones. I can't tell you a price, but probably one of the punters could tell us that. So, but
the movie I was referring to, and I couldn't remember, thanks Eric L, is Da Vinci Code. That's very Da Vinci Code-ish like. That's what I meant.
Oh,
I couldn't remember Star Trek. I couldn't remember Da Vinci Code. But
Eric L says that looks like the nuclear football, and I think he has a point.
Yeah.
They sold at auction for $2.9 million.
Okay.
So does this?
There was only 4 made.
Box,
they were not a commercial venture. There were only 4 made.
But this box has the ability to like pull the crown out and adjust the time on your watch, and set the date and then push it back in, and then also adjust the time itself, the meter, the slow up or speed up the actual time itself.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes. That is.
That's insane.
I wanted to show
insane.
you that.
A super chat from Anthony Napoli. Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate your support.
Anthony Napoli, $2. The ultimate in wind and wear.
True that. So the AMC is based on the EMC that they introduced, and the EMC is a little bit more commercially available. This is also a mechanical watch, but it has a very high-end escapement. So how this watch works is it shows the time here below, and it shows the seconds that are spinning now super fast, and then you have that little lever that you can pull out. You can see the lever here on the side, probably. Here on the side, on the right side, there is a lever, and you pull that lever out. And you then push the lever a couple of times to to give your watch a little bit of energy. And what is done then is the balance wheel is checked electronically, and it shows then if your watch is running fast or slow. It gives you that indicator on, I think, the indicator here on the left, or the big indicator, shows you if it goes faster or slower. And then on the back side of the watch, you can adjust then the performance and start all over the process again.
Wow.
But it's a mechanical watch.
We got another super chat from Ron the Shrink, $10. 2 indie pieces to check out later in the show. The Resonance Type 5 and the MBF/Moser collaboration watches. Collabs. Thank you, Ron the Shrink. We'll check that out later. And also, don't forget, Adawak. Remember Adawak Bear?
No, I don't remember
What is
Adawak.
that?
What's Adawak?
Remember I was promoting that watch, which was like a cheaper version of this?
Cheapened version of what?
The Urwek.
No, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I just wanted to show here on the
You'll have opportunity to shine on the resins. You've been, I think, mentioning every single show the watch that's filled with the oil. For some reason, you're very
Yes.
intrigued by that. So
Yes.
the moment for you to shine is coming up, Pontif.
Yes,
Do
thank
you want
sir.
to show the resins
No. That's later in the show. We have to first do the Erwerk, and then we have to talk about Kudoki.
Okay. So I just wanted to show that that little screw here on the case back. It's a little bit difficult to see here on the screen, and I can't enlarge it because otherwise it destroys the firmware. But here's the screw where you can set up then the performance of your watch, and then you pull that lever again on the side, and everything starts all over again.
Eric says, obviously as a joke, but obviously expresses his concern. You have to send Erwerks to space for service, $3 million, and take 17 years. I think that's very funny. Go ahead, please.
It's not that bad, but you get an idea how complex and complicated those watches are. And one of my favorite features here on the Urwek webpage are those explosion displays that show how many layers and how many components are working together on such a watch.
Awesome. So maybe not 17 years, but pretty close to that, Eric.
Yeah,
there was a great line.
Servicing is also something that Urwek is concerned or are using. Some of their watches have a display for upcoming services. Not sure if you can.
Can you remove the super chat so we can see better the
pictures? Sure.
Thank you.
1 second, let me show. Can't see the case back. Now here you can see the turbine. This watch has a different turbine here in the rotor, which is also working as an air brake. But that is not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you the oil change indicators.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Check that.
No. As Joseph D says, Germans love to over-engineer. There is no question about it. No wonder I was leading this presentation as being almost a German brand, even though it's Swiss brand. Definitely, good point, Joseph.
Yeah, Martin Frey and Felix Baumgartner are both Swiss, but from the German speaking part of Switzerland. So I think the indicator for the oil change is there on the right, if I know that correctly. I try to
look at that, Archie. Look at that, Archibald. Hey?
Here you can see the explosion again.
Yes, sir.
One second.
So Archie, while he's looking at this, what are your impression of this brand? Obviously, this is not a brand that you were ever interested in, but now that we're talking about it, that we're seeing the details about it, can you?
It's funny. I know one guy. I don't know if you remember when I had the Reverso tribute to 1931. You know, the black dial tribute.
Yeah.
The guy I bought that from, he was selling his entire watch collection off to buy one Urwek secondhand.
Wow.
I remember really at the time thinking he's nuts. I was thinking this guy is out of his fucking mind. But you know what? Now that I can see the beauty of these type of things here, I think they're very special. They're very unique. I don't know whether it's for me. I don't know whether it's something I would cross over. I hope God giving, I might be able to. They are amazing pieces there. It's very unusual. And anyhow, what I was going to say is he sold his whole collection off to get one Erwerk. And yeah, they're very special pieces, Bear.
For sure.
I must say that is dedication when you're selling everything just to get one single piece. I have great respect for that, and I hope that he found happiness with his decision. It's really a bold move, I would say.
Yes, I tend to agree with you there. I think it is a bold move. It's
I wanna acknowledge also Ron the Shrink's comment. I was looking at more secondhand Omegas yesterday. It really is incredible what you can get in Omega, especially pre-ceramic. It's hard to beat in value and very underpriced still. You know, it's very true. That show truly triggered me to look more into Omega as well. It's a really brand that hides a lot of gems. And from the mainstream brands, probably one that I am most intrigued by from that angle. Higgy, you bringing that up? What you were looking for?
Yeah. I'm trying to show you the oil change indicator here on this 110 watch, but it's very much covered. Archie, can you pull that? Yeah. So
when you say oil change, do you just mean
there you go, oil? There you go, oil
to be
change.
Serviced, like it just needs.
Yes,
the axles need to have a micro drop of oil put on there. It's not filled with oil, right? It doesn't.
No, it's not filled with oil, but you need to
lubricate,
replace the lubrication.
I don't know how it would do that. It would do that on a time basis? Like, would that be?
They do it on a time basis when the watch is worn, and also so when it's running, and also there is a fixed time components because the oils change over time.
Yes.
No matter how often you wear it. And underneath that display, you can see the oil change indicator, and if it turns red, it's time to send it into Urwek. And I would recommend that you do that then with Urwek and not let some other watchmaker work on it.
Independence.
Of course. So only Archie took his AP to some butcher in Brisbane and then wonder what the fuck happened. That's a
big surprise.
That's a story. Yeah, that's a story for another time. That's a story for another time.
Yeah, but you can see also that they're not only experimenting with different modes of displaying time. They've been very first with the experiments on color of lume, and they've been also one of the first brands that really used the black coated cases, be titanium. They even have black coated platinum, for example, in their range. So there is quite a lot that they did to revolutionize and to set themselves apart from the other watchmakers. Here you can see on the rear side, you can see also again 2 turbines that are not adjustable here on this particular watch. But the key elements are always those carousels with those rotating cubes that display the time, and those turbines are also significant and very characteristic for them.
Have you handled many of these, Jonathan?
Yes, I have. I have. Yeah. And
What sort
I
of
know
person buys this stuff? Because what do you find?
very unusual people, and one of the points of discussion that I never came across with Urwek owners was value retention, to be honest. Urwek owners are very dedicated, and you can see a lot of Urwek owners that own more than one of them. It is a little bit like an addiction. When you started with one of them, traditionally you started with one of those. 1 second. The collectors usually started with those UR 103. That is the traditional carousel that they used for quite some time. That is one of their entry pieces. And 1 second. Unfortunately, there is no proper video. So here you can see those carousels, and they have those satellites with those numbers. So you see the 8 here, the 7 is almost gone. The 7 hours, the 8 hours has begun, and here it is 5 on this satellite, but that will change then into 9, and then this entire carousel will move and show the time. No, there is no video. No video on that. So yeah.
Wow, amazing stuff, Bear.
So they are chunky, and some of them are less chunky than the others. This is one of their better wearable models. The one that I showed you just earlier, the 110, which now has a predecessor. Those are really big watches by far. Archie, and you being Patek Philippe connoisseur and admirer, will certainly admire this one. This has been done after a Patek prototype that Patek did.
Yes, that was a fantastic watch. That was.
Yes. So the famous watchmaker Louis Cotier, who also did the world timer.
World time, that's Philippe, right, Louis. Yes.
He was fascinated by the tachometer of a Cadillac car, if I remember that correctly.
Yes.
And he tried to convert that tachometer into a watch, and he made a prototype for Patek Philippe. And Urwek caught up that idea over 50 years later and made a commercially available watch. And this watch is called the Cobra.
Yes.
The CC1, if I know correctly, CC stands for Cobra and for Cotier, as an homage to Louis Cotier.
We got a super chat here in from our friend Cosmic $5. Great avatar. Jonathan Quayle Higgins, what is your favorite Erwerk? Bear, check. Erwerk 100V Magic T and Erwerk 100V T-Rex.
So my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite. Thank you very much for the question. My favorite is the Urwek 120, which is the updated version of the 110, because it has all those crazy functions and also all those crazy features that made Urwek popular. What I like about this one is this is a chunky watch, but you can wear it under the wrist, under the cuff, because only that segment on the right is telling you the time. So you can have this watch peek underneath your cuff, and you have your timing information here on the right side. And I also like that slim and sleek and aerodynamic design of the case. And it also has the turbines, if I know that correctly.
Somebody's just saying, did Jay Leno wear an Erwerk?
I'm
not sure.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wore one. Yes. So the 120 is actually an evolution of the 110, because the problem with those rotating cubes is they are relatively thick. And what Urwek did with the 120, they split those rotating cubes into 2 little cubes and made it very much flatter. And you can see those cubes are splitting then when they're not used and merging together to show a new hour. And I find that really cool. And that is a reference. They called it the Spock. That is a reference to Mr. Spock, who did that with his fingers. This splitting.
So cool.
Sign.
Would you mind bringing up those two versions that he's asking, the UR100V and UR100V T-Rex, and T-Rex? And while you're doing that, I have a question for Cosmic, actually. Does he actually have Erwerk in his collection? And if he isn't, is he seriously considering getting Erwerk? Why was Erwerk recommended by him? He obviously loves the brand.
Yes.
And is there some serious action on this to become the proud owner of this brand?
Was that a question to me or?
No, that's for Cosmic.
That's my Cosmic. Because it's Cosmic's show, because he invented he put the topic up today.
So the first one is the Urwek 100 Magic T that is here on the display, and that is the first time that Urwek did.
And look at that, the integrated bracelet.
Integrated bracelet, yes.
Which I love. Maybe this is my next one after my Laureato, Archie. I think maybe this is the one. Fuck, I love this. I would love this.
So 1 second.
Gorgeous.
Let me show you. I'm having here monochrome in the background because those fancy videos are nice, but sometimes they're getting a little bit too much. So here we have monochrome here. What this watch also shows is the distance that the watch was traveling in the last 20 minutes in relation to the sun. On the right and on the left, there is an indicator how much the sun, the distance of the sun.
I believe that they're also working on one which tells you how many times the watch has been flipped.
That would be nice.
And by the way, Cosmic did respond, and he says, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do."
Very interesting.
So he doesn't have just an amazing avatar, Archie. This seems to be a serious watch enthusiast. I mean, quite impressive. Thank you.
So on the Urwek 100,
and while Higgy continues, can we now read Ron the Shrink message to Higgy?
Yes, we've got a message to Higgy here. Ron the Shrink, $2. Higgins is adding a lot. I take back prior insult. Oh, look at that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron the Shrinky there. I got to tell you, these Urweks, Bear, I started off having less than zero interest in them, okay?
I believe you.
But I must say, MB&F, Erwerk, these type of machines, I'm starting to grow respect for them.
Because
it's always good to have respect for certain.
No, in a core, Archie, you're not some type of moron. You're a person who genuinely loves watches for the right reasons, right? Your love for Patek Philippe is genuine, and you love the micro machines. You love micro machines. You love the little train sets. You love what we call micro engineering. So for a person like you, I'm not surprised that you appreciate these watches.
Well, in a world too where the wheel has already been designed and utilized, these people are finding a new way to redesign the wheel.
Exactly.
And overcomplicated for a change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still struggling to find the T-Rex. I know that it has 1 second. I know that it has a surface like a T-Rex. Yeah, exactly. So that is the T100 T-Rex, and the significant part is here the surface of the watch case, which looks a little bit like the skin of a T-Rex.
Oh, I see. Holy shit.
Fuck, that's so cool, man. Super chat from
Super chat.
Yankee Doodle Dandy. Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yankee Doodle, $2. At a watch like this makes me want to. A watch like this makes me want to wear a $75 Casio.
I don't know how to interpret that.
It makes me want to wear such a watch, to such an Urwek, to be honest. But
I would love
strokes.
that watch. I would love that watch. Is so unique. This is so bizarrely cool. Yes, Archie.
Could I bring something up if it's not too offensive?
As long as it's not reversal, or
Okay.
or some type of caravan, or cement boat.
Okay.
Before you're closing
Okay.
that window, here you can see the air brake again from the rotor, which really has
Air
a
brake.
functional part.
Fuck me dead. This is like a Concorde
Amazing.
jet. Air brake.
Well,
Air brake.
We're talking about avant-garde, high-tech watches, and they integrated some features to make them more interesting. Yes.
My goodness, this is such a cool brand. No question about it.
Semi-trailers
did
use
you-
air brakes, don't they, Mike?
Do not go there. Do not
Do
go
not
there,
go
Pontiff.
I got to bring something up. Let me bring something up for you, just very quickly, just a quick diversion. Just 1 minute, sir.
Okay.
I'm bringing it. I just want to ask Jonathan very quickly. Yes, no, maybe. Oh shit. Here you go.
Oh
What do you
yeah.
think?
I actually love it because those Urwek pieces
And look at
are
this.
starting.
They got a Cobra.
Is this what you were talking? That's what you were talking. I don't remember you promoting this.
Yeah, they sent me one.
You did it. Now when I see the watch, I remember. How did you like it? Did you like it?
It's
Be
very
honest, be
unique.
honest.
This is the one I had. This is the one here I had. It's
Oh.
very unique.
So it's like
And,
a homage to Erwerk. This is homage
Yeah,
to Erwerk.
yeah,
Totally, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, these
Actually,
are
is it mechanical? It is mechanical,
Yes,
right?
yes, it is. Yes, it is mechanical. Yes, sir.
And go ahead.
They're about
tell us about it.
$1,000. They're about $1,000. Look, they're quite fascinating in the sense that they're very look. It's completely different. It doesn't feel like an Erwerk, you know. I mean, it doesn't. It's a very affordable.
Well,
but
I don't even know what Erwerk feels like. I can only see I never had even opportunity to see them in wild. I would love to actually
look,
try it out.
if you wanted something at a good price, these are like a poor man's Erwerk, isn't it? What do you think, Jonathan?
I think somebody says copying something is the best form of flattery. So it's the highest
It's not a
compliment
fake.
that
It's kind of unique. It's kind of It's
I would say that they're taking heavily from the cup of Urwek's ideas, and
yes, they
I
got the
just
Cobra. The Cobra.
So the watch that you just showed is a replica of, or is taking the ideas of the Urwerk 110. The Cobra is taking the ideas of those traditional satellite watches. I'm a little bit divided in my heart. On one hand, I really like that they make them accessible because, just like you say, there are $1,000 watches. And Urweks are a totally different league. But just imagine being in the shoes of Felix Baumgartner and Martin Frey, having those inventions, having worked for years to make them become reality, and then somebody just takes your idea, cheapens out, and makes cheap knockoffs
Cheap
of your
version.
ideas. So there are two sides of the story. My personal feeling goes a little bit towards those cheaper watches because they're super cool and they offer a lot of value for the money.
Yes.
Frankly, I have no issue with that. As a Rolex fanboy, I actually own Steinhardt, and I can tell you that I can find enjoyment in that Steinhardt as well. For me, the problem is when you actually have a fake watches that I do not endorse in any shape or form. But watch that is a tribute and a cheaper version of something that you will never be able to attain is okay. This is something you could actually enjoy. You should contact them again and tell them they were brought up on your live stream, and maybe we can rekindle the relationship with this brand, and maybe there would be interest. I think now that the best way to present this brand is actually presenting Erwerk first, and then going and presenting this brand.
Yeah. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the purchases of those cheap watches would then go to buy the masterpiece and the blueprint of those watches. It would not be the first time, Bear. I'm pretty sure you heard about collectors who had fake Rolex watches and then told you, well, finally at the end I got the real deal.
Yeah, actually, I know exactly what you're saying. I had seen that in real life, where a person simply tries it out and comes to conclusion, this is something I want. It feels right on the wrist. It feels good. And I think actually this could be interesting approach. I'm just suggesting. It's up to you, obviously.
So I've just pulled up the Urwek.
I got your picture up again. Your picture up again.
Yeah, that is the Urwek 110, which was serving as an inspiration for the earlier watch that you showed up, including the color scheme. So yes, it's interesting. But yeah, I think we should move on with the real deal at the moment.
Yes. Tell me this, Jonathan. Is it something you'd want to get?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Like even if you had a choice of a perpetual Patek or one of these, you'd pick one of these, or
Archie, please don't explode on me. But my goal is not a perpetual Patek Philippe. I own a perpetual calendar Lange, and that
enough.
Ticks my box. Instead of getting a Patek Philippe perpetual calendar, I certainly would get an Urwek.
I don't blame you. I genuinely don't blame you. After seeing what I've seen, and after reading what I read, and after learning what I learned, it is quite impressive and different.
Yeah, I think that is the trick. So you see, Urwek was working with that T-Rex surface on quite some models. That is why I was struggling to find it at first. Here you can also see again that carousel that is very visible with those satellites that rotate when they're not used, and this way of displaying the time is Urwek's shtick for sure. Yeah. And then you can get different case shapes. Some of them are hidden partly, so they have that lid like a hunter case back, but at the front like a hood or like a boot on a car, and that reveals then the full mechanism if you want. So they're experimenting on many fields. By the way, one interesting quote, because Thomas Burnett yesterday was doing skeletonized watches, and Martin Frey from Urwek was quoted, and he was saying skeletonized watches are the best way to put a lot of effort into a watch that doesn't look very well then in the end. So he has an entire design concept in his mind, and certainly traditional watchmaking is not very high on his agenda, which is totally okay, because if we would all do and appreciate Calatrava watches, it would be a very boring world, I would say.
100%. Speaking of interesting questions, Mobster, $5. How much money should a person make a year to buy a 4 to 5 piece modern Rolex collection, or purchased at grey prices a $50,000 to $75,000 collection minimum salary? Now, Mobster, I don't think it actually is a set number. It depends. What are you prepared to sacrifice? Now, what do I mean by that is, do you have to have a fancy
Do
wancy
you
car?
care about your curtains?
Do you have to wear designer clothes? Do you have to? So it depends. What are you prepared to sacrifice? Now, I think myself, obviously, somebody would have to buy that grey market because they could never have the spend history. You'd need to be super, super, super rich. But I would say, in my opinion, Mobster, I know what you're asking. I think you could be on middle class money and you could build a 4 to 5 piece collection. You wouldn't just buy it instantly. I'm talking 5 to 10 years, right? 5 years, 5 to 10 years. And I reckon you'd probably want to earn about the value of your collection should be equal to the gross salary. Does that make sense? So if you've got a collection worth 75,000, you'd want to earn about 75. That's a rough guide, but if you're prepared to sacrifice and do things, you could earn a lot lower and have much, much more. Does that make sense, Bear? What do you think?
Yeah, I really like your answer. That's good enough for me. I don't have anything to add to that.
But if you want to sacrifice
it
a
comes
lot,
down to sacrificing, right?
exactly.
If you're willing never to go on vacation, drive just a cheap
Shitter, Japanese
Volkswagen Jetta, never buy any expensive clothing, and basically never buy anything for yourself of a high value, you'll be able to afford more watches. That's the bottom line. Speaking from a
100%.
personal experience. And do you think it's time that we move on? The second topic
Yes.
of the topic is
Yes,
the
sir.
Kudoki.
Kudoki. Let's bring her up, baby. Bring the Kudokis up. We want to bring
Now-
Kudokis up.
Now, when it comes to Kudoki, that's actually the brand I was familiar with, and primarily the first time I heard about this brand was 2019 when they actually won the prize at the Grand Prix d'Horologie de Genève, and it is the Petit Agile category.
Just out of interest,
They
there, wear
won
a
it-
cardigan from 1982. Exactly, SD43. He's getting the concept right there.
Bear, apologize
understands.
to interrupt you, but I think Cosmic made a non-super chat question that we should
Oh,
honor.
yes.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see.
Oh,
Go ahead.
That's it.
Jonathan
So-
Quayle Higgins, can you comment on Harry Winston contribution to the independents, given they all work for them at one point?
Please do.
So thank you very much for the question, because that is such an important point. And now we come to Max Büsser. Max Büsser is the other guy who makes those crazy watches. Urwek and Max Büsser and friends are friends, and they do collaborations. Max Büsser started as a product manager for Harry Winston watches, and he brought all those crazy brands that we know today to Harry Winston to make those collaborations. And I was pulling up here in the background the Opus 5, which was a collaboration with Urwek, with Martin Frey and Felix Baumgartner.
Let's bring it up.
So his contribution, Harry Winston's contribution, and Max Büsser's contribution to the independent watchmakers and to where they are today is totally significant, and that was a very important step.
Very
There
cool.
we go.
Can you pull up the Opus 5 that I have in the background?
Sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
Here we
so,
go.
So you can see here from the display the typical Urwek satellites that are then merging in an arrow-shaped indicator that indicates the minute. You have seen that previously on other models. So that is the OG, and that was the first collaboration with Urwek or Martin Freund, Felix Baumgartner. Apologies for interrupting you with Kudoki, but I think it's a very important question.
That's almost like egg and chicken question in the aspect of what we're talking. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Kudoki, as I said, I actually heard about this brand, and I was intrigued by it because it's also relatively attainable, right?
Yes.
It's a watch that's in a range of, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 Swiss francs, right? And he won the Petite Aiguille category, and this was for Kudoki 2. And thank you for following up on that. I appreciate the background. So it's an interesting brand. It's a very recognizable. It's immediately easy to see it. I like the aesthetics of it, even though I'm not a dress watch guy. I do appreciate this watch very much, and I was very close to purchasing it. I'm still in the process of possibly purchasing something like this. So it's not a watch that I am feeling that's far-fetched.
What time is displayed at the moment there, Bear?
That's a good question. 10:10, exactly.
So what does
this is not the one I'm going after. I really like the romantic look of the day and night indicator, which I think is gorgeous the way he makes it. And to me, basically, this German watchmaker, his name is Stefan Kudoke. I don't know if I am pronouncing the name right. And I think what I love is, I don't know if you're going to bring that one. Yeah, up. Kudoki. Yeah, that's the one, exactly the one that I am aspiring to get.
That's the Kudoki 2.
Kudoki 2. That's the one he won the prize for. And that's a bit more complex approach. And I love it that I love this engraving is so, listen, this has the German DNA. It's something like, if you're looking at this, it comes with the engraved rotating disc on the top of this day-night indicator. And to me, that is the beauty of this watch. I love the dimensions of the watch as well. As you know, I've been on that shtick for a while. It's a 39 millimeter. It's restrained thickness of only 10.7 millimeter. The case, I also love the simplicity of the case. I like the little plate on the bottom, Kudoki. That's a watch that speaks to me. And
can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
In early on when I was getting into watches, I came across Kudoki and was most impressed by their skeleton watches, like that octopus ones. He's got a number of others that are just insanely hand engraved, skeletonized masterpieces.
Okay.
These
So I want to just finish my thought on this.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. That's it.
No worries. Thank you. To me, the main attraction of this Kudoki 2 is that is deep. The deep blue is the hand engraved domed rotating indicator. That's what really sold me, and I love that. That's what we shown the first. Can you please keep on that watch? I would really appreciate that, Archie. You're creating a bit of anxiety in me, jumping up and down. And it's I love the yellow gold plating as a representation of the day. I love the white and black rhodium plating, the nighttime indicator. It is truly like a little piece of art on the dial. And to me, this is what really attracted me to this watch. Now, the moment on this watch is viewed, and Archie was showing it earlier, is can be seen through the sapphire case back. It is the hand-wound caliber 1, which is basically from another of my favorite independents that I was talking about, and then Archie was shitting on it big time. It is Habring 2, the Austrian brand that produces some really, it's a husband and wife Austrian brand that produces some really remarkable handmade pieces and handmade movements that are, for my favorite is the Felix. By the way, so they have the collaboration and they're getting some parts from them, which I also appreciate and love. And now I can understand that there's always a reason for something behind the scenes. It's a bit inspired by antique English pocket watches. You can see that in the architecture of this moment. And one thing that I like it is it's yellow gold plating over that's going to has a hand frosted surface, which gives a very pleasant, very high end look. The movement is dominated by this very unique German style hand engraved balance bridge. It has a beautifully beveled edges, blued screws. It has a hand applied snail finishing on the wheels. Has the polished click spring complete with the movement. It is a beautiful movement, beautiful watch with a little piece of art indicating day and night, and this is something that sells for like under 10,000 euros.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I think
yeah, and that's what triggered me. And you know what? Doing more research on this today brings me closer to pulling the trigger. Honestly, I am big fan of this brand. I'm big fan of this watchmaker. I think he's giving us something very special for that price point. And then I am done with this presentation.
I got a super chat from Cosmic, $2. To bear, Kudoki means that makes the bear. Kudoki makes the bear.
They make the bear?
The
yeah,
bear.
I think
What's the bear? Kudoki?
they make a watch called the Bear.
The bear.
No kidding, I didn't see that.
Yes, bear. You could get rid of all your Rolex and get the Kudoki bear and get an MB&F and just fuck it, bear. Who cares? There's nothing wrong with that. Do you understand? You don't need to.
Actually, that's what you just said is completely contrary to why I am completely comfortable with this brand, because to buy this watch from this brand, you don't have to get rid of anything. That's the beauty of this as well, because its price point is really reasonable. So it's not going to be requiring a huge sacrifice.
That's why I continue to look at them and investigate them, and found that they did have a number of really insanely skeletonized hand engraved models that are just off the hook.
What do you think about this brand? I highly value your opinion. I was really happy that you approved my Gerard Perregaux Laureato. I'd like to hear, because this is actually important to me. In all honesty, Erwerk is not something that I'm going to buy.
The bear, it's on the screen, bear.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm sorry. I'm really focused on Kudoki 2.
No, that is Kudoki.
No, on Kudoki 2, the one that I was talking.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that day-night indicator is like a little beautiful painting, or I cannot describe. It reminds me on the wall clock that my grandfather had in his apartment, which was a German old school wall clock and had similar type of engraving. I find it very beautiful, and I think this is, and I would probably go with the wide dial. Blue dial is beautiful, but wide dial gives us such a crispness. It looks almost enamel. It looks almost. I cannot describe it. It's just so good. This is it. This is my watch.
Yeah.
This is my watch.
And you know that 24-hour display is done by hand, so it's just you get a lot of watchmaking, a lot of handcraft for this kind of money. I mean, it's less than 10,000. So you have the choice of getting a Datejust in steel or that one, and yeah, it certainly offers a different value when you fall in love with it. And just like you said, I think you made a very important point. It looks like the tradition of British watchmakers. Those movement layouts are relatively minimalistic with those gold frosted bridges, and then you get something German that engraved balance wheel bridge that is beautifully dominating then the entire set. Even that plaque you can very often find on British movements.
Beautiful, beautiful.
100% right there. Jonathan, are you a Kudoki fan yourself? There, you're German. What do you think of this?
I like it. I have a soft spot, but I reach out to different watchmaking.
You can't like everything.
Yeah, this is too artisan in my taste, and I'm then more focused on high-end watchmaking, and so this doesn't tick my boxes. But I can understand that people fall in love with it. And Bear put it correctly.
Ooh.
Stefan Kudoki and his wife is
Bear. Cosmic,
Yeah,
$100. Excellent
Holy
presentation to Bear. Jonathan Quayle Higgins' knowledge and analysis is greatly appreciated.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Cosmic.
much.
I would like to thank Cosmic for bringing up those topics, because I think a year ago I would have laughed when those topics would have brought up, and I genuinely appreciate that Bear did some research and probably fell in love with some of the pieces that he was researching. And I think that is all about it. It doesn't really matter if you're buying a certain piece. I think it's more important to go on that journey and look a little bit outside of the boat that we're sitting in. And there is so much to discover in particularly in independent watchmaking, and that is where my heart beats, and that is where my friend Swiss and I are finding our love and passion in. And there is so much to discover, and it's a discovery every single day. You learn something new.
Amazing, Cosmic. You're a legend. You're class act, and you're very much appreciated, not just for money, but as Higgy says, for bringing up the topic. And thank you to you, and thank you to Ron the Shrink. Guys, I do want to remind you, if you want to bring the topic, and the topic of your passion, topic whatever it might be, please feel free to super chat $25 and give us a topic for the next show or the date whenever you choose to be. The show will be named exactly by whatever topic you choose, and then it will be your name included. We really appreciate that, and we have super chats coming in fast and furious.
Here we go. The Watch Lounge, $5. Cheers, gents.
Thank you, Watch Lounge.
Thank you very much.
And we got a super chat from CB. CB says $10. Great job, guys. Excellent discussion.
Thank you, CB.
I tell you, when CB gives approval, that actually means a lot to me. There are certain people that are very knowledgeable and very much. I really mean that. I'm not sucking up. Obviously, nobody gets angrier than me, better than me. So I'm an expert on how to get angry. But when it comes to watches, obviously the feedback from Cosmic, from CB, from Tanzil, from Higgins means a lot, because that means we're doing something right for our hobby. So I think we all have expertise on specific things. Archie has the expertise on cement boats, the caravans, cleaning cars, and so on. And,
caravanning.
Yeah. So that's great, guys. Thank you for making this live stream a little bit different and probably interesting to some other people besides regular crowd.
You know, I'm genuinely happy because in the old days, Archie would have screened shitters, and then the topic would have been over. So I'm really happy that
I don't think these are shit. To be completely honest with you, Jonathan, let me just say this to you, okay? I think there's a lot of creativity in both of these brands today, Urwek and Kudoki. A lot of craftsmanship. When you say shitter, I think you're looking more at mass produced, you know, just you can see a lot of effort has gone into these things. Does that make sense?
Totally, yes, and
Like,
just
you know that
imagine.
guy. Well, who's that guy?
I
Bear.
remember you just maybe 2-3 weeks ago calling Habring that I brought. Oh wow! Look who is here! Fuck, that's a wonderful surprise. I need to stop my
Look at
bitching
this
and complaining.
$00, $5. Interesting subject and excellent discussion.
Talk about the people that know watches. Talk about the exceptional watch collectors. Thank you very much, 0000. This means a lot. I really mean it. Again,
That
not
is
just the
very-
money part, but the acknowledgement and your presence. Thank you, sir.
I must say, you remember that guy who Roman Sheriff interviewed? Who was that guy? You know, that millionaire who put out a watch. What was that watch called? You know that watch?
I know who you're talking about. The guy who was researching a little bit and thought that then watches between 1,000 and 10,000 would be the future.
And they were just garbage. So basically Alibaba sort of stuff, right? Whereas this here, you can see some real effort into it. And
this is fine watchmaking, just like Habring, by the way, that I mentioned, and you said that's a shitter. Which
Habring does use a lot of generic movements, but Bear, let's not get too exciting.
No, but I think Bear has a point, and apologies for defending Bear. You don't need my support, but
don't worry. I don't mind you defending me. You can defend me horologically. I don't mind that. Please go ahead.
Habring is using a 7750, but they are heavily modifying them, and that is part of their shtick. You have to keep in mind they are working in a range between 5,000 and 10,000 US dollars, and you simply have a hard time to have your own movement, then do modification in terms of chronographs, and then keep that range. So yesterday you had some Japanese independents. And there is one Japanese independent that I admire a lot, and he's taking a 7750. He's gutting the watch out. He's taking away the automatic part. He's taking away the chronograph part, and he makes a super slim 3-hander watch, and that is super cool.
Right.
And by the way, that is the watch that I'm talking about. That is Naoya Hida.
And this is how I get defended horologically, and now this is how I defend myself. Shut up, you fuckface. Okay. And don't worry,
I've been missing.
I'll control myself. I'll control myself.
Who's that? Whose watch is this here? Tell me what this is.
That is Naoya Hida from Tokyo in Japan, and that is the watch that I'm talking about. Maybe I can show you a picture. So he's taking a Japanese
watch.
He's taking
a
7750. He's gutting it out. He's removing the chronograph part. He's removing the automatic part. He's creating then his own bridges, and then he makes those absolutely gorgeous watches out of that.
I think that's beautiful.
CB $5. I think Archie opened his mind a lot last couple of years.
I agree. I agree, CB. Actually, that's very
I actually
true.
like this.
Yes, of course you like it.
Stand in line, Archie, because wait lists are years long, and those are super special watches.
Gorgeous watch.
0000 $10. The last time I watched interesting presentation, I ended up buying. Got to be careful. Laugh out loud. Cheers, 0000 Bear.
Hey, listen, 0000. If you have to be careful, then we are all in trouble. What is on his avatar, Archibald? What is on his avatar?
So he's got a Porsche 911 with a eagle on the back spoiler. Look at that, Bear.
I don't think guys who have that kind of car are going to have to be careful. So you know what? We certainly hope that maybe
Ooh, but
Erwerk is going to be on
Maybe
this.
one of those Urwek can be same price as the car, Bear.
Archie,
What?
Yes, Bear. Yes,
can
Mikey.
can I post up a link like this? Will this work?
Sure.
Or maybe it won't. It's in the chat.
Okay.
But it's a Kudoke. It's a link to a Kudoke model. Do you see it there?
No, I don't. Did you just put it in the private chat? I'll bring it up.
Okay. Let's see if I can do that. Shit.
I gotta tell you
Top
that
chat.
that's the one you like here on the screen now, isn't it, Bear? Just simple, isn't it? Simple. That's what you like.
And exactly that model, Archie. This is the model that I'm going to buy. I'm definitely. I made up my mind. I'm going to buy this.
Holy shit, Bear.
And frankly, I don't really care what you have to say about it, and you're not going to shame me to it. And
Can I tell
I'm
you
going
something Bear might want to do?
Mhm.
When you come to Australia, there's actually a big, you wouldn't believe this. There's a guy who's got a business called Define Watches,
Mhm.
and he sells all sorts of exotica we're looking at today. This is what he specializes in German German watches. Let me just see if he sells. I'll just tell you.
I'm just gonna ask you to drop the link for our
Yeah, we
main
did already.
JJ.
We did
Thank you.
already.
He sells Kudoke, Bear. He sells Kudoke.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
That might be more cost effective, Bear. If you want me to do something for you,
Are you telling me you're gonna buy me a watch, Pontiff?
what I'm saying to
Is
you is
this like a appreciation?
Let's not go that far.
Holy shit! The appreciation for Bear, and then you're gonna give it to me on a live stream in your studio. Is that what you're telling me, Pontiff?
what I'm
Oh
saying.
my God!
You know,
Oh
I think
my
this is
God.
the first time within years that I can see Archie blush.
Oh, private chat. There we go. Found it.
There you go.
What's up,
Archie,
fellas?
I'm
Hey,
touched.
JJ, how are you?
Good, good. I came to do. Bear messaged me. He said, "Come, you better come and do your bid. Do your bid. You know, you got to give us at least a half hour of content today." He said. No, I came.
Yeah, you gotta earn your link, my friend. You got to earn your link.
I was actually out.
Tonight we have a very interesting topic on JJ's Watch Hangout. JJ, you want to tell them what your topic is?
Favorite complications tonight.
Oh,
And does
wow.
that also include complications we don't like?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we could get on your favorite, your least favorite, whatever you want, as long as it pertains to complications. But yeah, I just got in and I saw this beautiful Kudoki on the screen. I had to jump on. This is really
one
nice.
I'm gonna buy. This is what I'm going to buy.
I think if you want a real cool German brand, this is the way to go. I mean, obviously, like Longa is the choice, right, to get like the most luxurious brand. But I think that just out of all the cool like watches that come from German makers, this is the one that I like the best, anyway.
Yeah, he's got some of his skeletonized ones. He puts the letter K.
I don't like skeletonized. CB has just confirmed as the president of our company. Archibald, please read.
Yes, sir. We've got a very good super chat. CB $5. Bear, you are not getting a company car, but you are getting a company watch.
There's
Thank
also
you,
a super
Archie.
funny comment by Jay Sykes.
Archie's favorite complication is going to the. But actually, I was just about to leave for the bathroom, Bear.
No need to go to the bathroom. Just relax. You just
Archie, I didn't even have coffee since I woke up, so you're not going anywhere.
Exactly. We're working hard for you, Archie.
Did you guys pull up the Starry Night by Kudoki? Being that you're pulling up Kudokis.
Yeah, and we did not, but that's a beauty. Would you mind pulling that up?
That's my
either
favorite.
You, Jonathan, or Archie?
Kudoki 2
Yep.
Nocturne. Well, this is a Nocturne, same as that, but it's the Starry Night version with the blue. Oh, it's so good.
Let me check where that is.
That's the one I would get if I was. Well, I would try to.
If you
I don't know if
were
you can
there.
get that, but it has awesome. It has an awesome loom around the ring, and the moon phase lights up too. I don't even know if you could get those. I don't know how hard they are to get. They're probably a lot harder than the regular, but
Probably.
I've never looked into like how many they made or whatever. I just know that it exists. It's a titanium version.
Okay, Archie, I have it in the background.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir. Bring it up.
The Starry Night. Once again, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'll be back.
So that is based on the Kudoki 2 that we've just seen with the Gyoshi dial, and I'm not sure what is the case. Is that a coating? I guess.
Yeah, it's. I think the whole case is titanium. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so then it would be anodized blue.
Yeah,
titanium.
exactly. I think they anodized it, and it's like it has like the chaptering, I guess you would call that inside, or the that's loomed. There's a really cool night picture. I mean, I could send it to one of you guys if you want to see it.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
what
send
I
me
could
on
find.
send me on my WhatsApp, please. To be very honest with you, I would not go for this. There's a reason why I love the other one. As I said, this white dial looks so enamel to me. So looks very crisp, and it just showcases the little day-night complication beautifully as a piece of art on that watch. To me, this is perfection when it comes to this style of the watch. Thank you.
Yep, this is
I got
beautiful
it,
too.
Jake.
This is definitely if you're going for a classic. If you want to go classic styling, the other one's a little more fun, I guess, a little more.
That is a little bit
And I
wilder.
bet you the other one is going to be some type of limited edition and probably not available and so on. But this is readily available, which is for now. I mean, now to be honest with you, it's getting popularity. It was totally unknown before, and then I found out about it when we were discussing the when they won the prize 2019, and in my horology talk group, people brought it up, and I'm like, wow, man, this is probably something stupidly expensive. Then I saw the price, which was even cheaper at that time, and I'm like, holy shit, this is really good watch. But then you start questioning, is it cheap because it's shit? It's a weird how our mind works. If you immediately were saying this is like, I don't know, $30,000, $40,000 watch, you kind of like looking at it, oh yeah, this is amazing, but it's only 10,000, and you're going like, is this really cool? Is this okay? Is there something wrong with it? It's funny. It's funny how
Not a hype.
No.
Just not a hype.
I've been exactly there, Bear. 10 years ago, Lange was not very popular, and I came across a datograph in platinum, and it was less than $25,000, and it was so cheap that I passed on it. Today they are 100, and I'm just scratching my head and asking myself, why did you pass on a $25,000 datograph? And that is exactly what you're describing. When something is too cheap, you just move on, and that is very often a mistake.
So, Bear, I got some info. That Starry Night one was limited to 30 pieces.
Oh,
And it went for 13.3 euros retail. I don't know what it goes for now, but
I bet you there's none for sale.
yeah,
I
was going to say you probably can't even find it.
Yeah, that's the type of watch you buy to keep. Really, that's how it is. Welcome back, Archibald.
JJ, would you ever go into the dark side? These independents, Kudoki or Erwerk, is it?
Yeah,
anything...
well, not really Urwek, but Kudoki, I could say at that price point, I think it's fair to get in. Yeah, and I like to watch. I just find it very interesting. It's a very cool German-made watch. Out of all the
Foreman
German,
Colassus says 25,000 is lunch money, but it's all relative. See, going back a couple years, 25,000 had a lot more spending power than it does now. You know, that's
still
the whole thing.
It was cheap.
I understand, but still, it's not money to be sneezed at, is it? That's a lot of money still. You know?
Comparatively, 25 versus 100. By the way, I do want to remind you that we had a super chat from Ron the Shrink when he asked for the Resonance 5 watch.
Yes.
And remember,
Yes,
I
that's
forgot
correct.
what
You
was the
did.
second watch he was asking for.
I'll tell you because I keep all these things, Bear. I do homework now. You know that, Bear?
No, you don't do homework. Don't bullshit me.
he's got a tough teacher. I heard he's got a rough teacher this year.
Yeah. That's what
That was
it
the
is.
Resonance Type 5 and the MBF Moser collaboration, the collab, the Moser and the MB&F. Remember they did that cheapie?
Yeah. It's a cool looking watch, but again, it has.
You were offered one, JJ. You were offered one. You were offered one.
No,
Was
no,
that you?
Spinning?
Good.
Is it a spinning one, JJ? Spinning?
No, but it's got a big, it's got a big sapphire dome. It looks like a snow globe. I don't like those type.
Remember that you could get two of them. There was two. Remember, wasn't there a box set? You could get either two or one, wasn't there?
I don't remember what that was. Archie, to tell you the truth, I'm drawing a blank.
I'm trying to pull it up. So when
Thank
we're
you,
talking
Jonathan.
about MB&F H. Moser collaborations, a friend of mine bought one, and that is my pet peeve because I really enjoy mocking on him. So so H. Moser and MB&F did some collaborations on 79 or cookies, and he
Archie,
bought that
would you
ugly
mind picking up the super chat while Higgy is organizing this?
Yes. Here we go. CB, $5. Archie is starting to open his mind, but he still feels that us buying this stuff, they are frivolous purchasers. Archie is starting to open his mind, but he still feels that us buying this stuff, they are frivolous purchasers.
Yeah. Basically, your opening mind to talk about it, you appreciate it, but you will deep inside think that fucking CB is a moron for buying that. That's what he's telling you, right? You just don't want to say it out loud because he might cut out your super chats. That's basically the idea, right?
Correct. That's exactly it.
Ben, you could literally tell him like the worst thing and be yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he was listening to you when you said that.
So those collaborations between MB&F and H. Moser, you can see the H. Moser part in those dials. Their signature dials are those green and smoked gray ones. And one important part is, for example, the tourbillon with a cylindrical hairspring. That is one of H. Moser's signature pieces.
Right.
So that is a collaboration that they did. And a friend of mine, he bought the one that you see here in blue and in green. And
Ooh,
I find
yes,
it
sir.
ugly as hell. And
You didn't tell him that, but did you?
Yeah. Of course, I'm telling him that. That's part of the fun. Come on.
I love
That's the part Higgy enjoys.
Yeah, very much. But he's also a big
Bezos. Bezos has a perfect insult that you can use. Reminds him of the quorum.
Oh, the quorum bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like I can't get into those dome watches like that look like a snow globe. I don't know.
Yeah. 1 second. I tried to find a better picture.
I think it's cool looking, but I would never wear one. Like, I don't know, I would feel like a goofball wearing that. Archie's doing his taxes. Archie doing taxes?
Are you
No.
with us,
I'm
Archie?
doing research.
Don't worry. Archie, the Resonance 5 is coming up. This is your time to shine. The oil, the whole story, oil filled with the oil. You love that shit.
Yes,
you
correct.
There, Mikey's coming on. He loves Mikey. No, yeah, they're right there, Mikey. The oil-filled watch is coming up, Mikey. This is going to be tremendous. Resonance 5, boys. Resonance 5.
Resonance 5.
Thank
That's
you.
exactly it, Bear. 100% right, Bear.
Super chat from CB.
Super chat from CB. Here we go. Archie, just think that I use all the money I did not spend in parlors.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Hey, look at this. This is the one here, the green. Do you love green, Bear? That's your color.
I love green, but the snow globe appearance doesn't do it for me. I can't. I would.
Archie, that's the watch my friend brought to lunch when we had lunch in San Francisco, if you'll remember.
Yes, yes. That's exactly right.
It's the exact watch that my friend brought.
This is the collab with Moser.
That was a
Jonathan,
question for you, Higgins.
Is that the collab?
He lost connection.
Sorry, my microphone was muted. I don't know why.
This is the collab?
Yes, that is an anniversary collab, if I know that correctly. So that is a typical H. Moser dial.
Yeah, you can see where the Moser influence is.
Also, the hands are typical H. Moser, and I think the balance spring is double, which is also one of the shtick of H. Moser. And now Patel Philippe will mention the dual swan neck again.
There you go.
Does this have a dual swan neck?
No, it doesn't. But it has two. You can see those two attachment points for the the hairsprings here on top.
It's kind of like a chicken wishbone.
Yeah, kind of. But those are not swan neck regulators. Those are the attachment points for the hairsprings.
Yeah, that's the bridge for the hairspring.
Yeah.
And it elevates it up above to the top of the very domed crystal. So
yes, but I personally, as much as I like Max Büsser, and he has a tremendous success with those legacy machines, that LMs they are called, but I can't get over that over prominent balance wheel. I personally find it tacky. But I understand what he's trying to achieve. There are old watches that look like that, and that is the beating heart of a mechanical watch. I totally get that. It's just not for me.
Understandable.
I've got to say, this actually has a beautiful green dial, which I think the Bear would love because he loves green.
No.
Please don't endorse this watch, because my friend will come back tomorrow and mock me then, and mock me with the approval of the pontiff.
At the price point, they're not terrible. They're not terrible.
That is 60,000 euros.
Yeah. I think my friend paid 80. I think that's
80.
what he mentioned his was.
Yes.
Apologies for interrupting you.
80,000 American.
I'm just picking my jaw off the floor, Bear. 80,000. Jonathan,
what I like from MB&F are their machines. That's what I like from MB&F. I think those are amazing. And to be honest with you, again, that's a very Da Vinci feel. That's how I see modern Da Vinci approach. So for me, that's something I would love to own if I'm a wealthy man, like CB. And I never even seen one in person, so that's another thing I would enjoy seeing, to be honest.
I was actually preparing a punchline of the most beautiful non-Urwek watch that I really adore, and maybe Archie can pull that up, and maybe Archie can tell us what this shape reminds him of. Archie, can you pull up the image that I
Let's see.
Archie, pull it up.
yes, here we go. That's the machines.
That is one of the HMs, the horology machines. What does this shape of this particular watch remind you of?
Looks like a dinosaur.
No.
Isn't that like a Patek you were talking earlier?
No. Actually, that is exactly the tail of a Lamborghini Miura.
Okay.
One of the most beautiful cars that has been ever made.
Besides the Mercedes Gullwing.
Yes.
So, and the Ferrari P4. or
And Max
P5.
Fisser adapted that.
This
that
is
shape.
what it looks to me like.
Do you ever wonder why they make watches that are shaped like cars, but they don't make cars that are shaped like your favorite watches?
Oh, beautiful. Is that a cascade or a replica, Bear, that you have here?
This is what the fuck is this? Hang on, I forgot.
Because your favorite
is-
brand, Gérard Perregaux, makes this kind of watch as well, don't you? Don't you know
This
that?
is Bulova Computron.
Okay.
Archie,
Mhm.
full screen for Bear, full screen for Bear.
Yes, full screen for Bear. Here we go.
Oh wow, look at that.
Holy
Oh, how
shit.
cool is that? All
Let me
chrome.
put it on the wrist. I bought this actually when I went to New York. I wanted to buy a watch and it was at
Canal Street?
At the day. No, don't be like that. Come on. Yeah, see.
Wow, cool.
Cool, eh?
I've got a Lamborghini Miura here, Hot Wheel.
Continue, please. Thank you. I just want to show you. That's what it. I like the design. That's a cool design.
What watch is that you're holding, Bear?
I just told you, Bulova.
Oh,
Bulova.
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Bulova Computron. Bulova
Computron.
That's a reissue of their original Bulova Computron.
Okay.
You
Very
have a
cool.
super chat from CB.
Very unique.
PB, $10. Archie, are there any of those independent brands you don't consider frivolous purchases? And if yes, which one and why? I got to tell you, I would say out of all the watches we've looked at today, I'll take one of those Urwerks, please.
He's not asking you about today. He's asking you what would you consider least frivolous purchase from all independents. Which brand?
Look, I've got to be totally honest with you.
I'm
FP
assuming
Jean.
Yeah.
But that's because resale. Look,
Attaboy,
I got to tell you, I think the problem is where I am in the world. I'm in Australia. You got to remember this too, CB. We don't have an easy way to get in and out of these things. Like in New York, like someone like JJ, he can easily get rid of his. There's such a watch community there.
I could go to 47th Street, 47th Street, and get ripped off like someone did, But no, I know what you mean. It's easier to get rid of. As right now, I know you said FP Sean, but I'm curious to pick your brain.
Sure.
Do you think like that's a passing fad, like a Frank Mueller, or do you think that they make so few and there's such a heavy like cult of people who collect them that they only make 900 watches a year that they'll always remain prevalent for now?
I think the thing is with FP Jean itself there, he's got a lot of handwork. Like if you look at Frank Mueller, he was just basically using a standard ETA movement. It was the case design. That's what Frank Mueller was, right? Frank Mueller's still an expensive brand. You buy Frank Mueller.
Why did they call him King of Complications?
Master. Because
Why did they call him that?
he used to. That was his thing. He used to, before he sold out to the Russian mafia and started hookers and coke. He was actually quite skilled watchmaker.
All right.
He was. You know what his
he did.
first
He used to modify Rolexes, add bits to. He was quite clever.
He
Very
made a golden Datejust perpetual calendar when he was working at Rolex.
Super chat from CM Punk 83, $2.
Here we go. CM Punk 83, $2. Quick Italian suit survey. Linton or Izai. You know what? I think you're better off to go to a bespoke tailor, really.
You're cutting out, Archie. Can you repeat the and answer the question, please?
CM Punk 83, $2. Quick Italian suit survey. Brioni, that's what Bond wore. Kiton,
Okay.
I've never even heard of it. Or Izai, I never heard of that as well. Isaiah. I would say
No.
Tom Ford.
Tom Ford. By the way, the CB recommends Kiton. So just that.
Mhm.
I would
Arch, do you
say
know who
better-
CM Punk is?
No, who is
CM
that?
Punk was a wrestler.
Ah, okay.
He was a famous wrestler. And I don't think
Super
Kitan is Italian. I think it's British. Pretty sure.
British.
I
Super
think you're
chat
better off
from Cosmic.
Cosmic
$5.
$5. Jonathan Quayle Higgins. Can you educate AC3 about the MAS Kodo Constant Force Tourbillon SLGT 003?
In short, I can't, but I will try to do.
Can we see it?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm trying to pull it up.
While he's bringing that up, Archie, and getting ready, can you please pick up the super chat from CB? $10.
$10. The mistake you make, Arch, is that you always reference to what you can afford and your location. When you talk to the punters, remember that there are all kinds of wallets and geographic locations.
Archibald, we learned something important today, didn't we? We learned not to eat during the show, especially the beginning when it's fucking very annoying and wet talk like docs report. We
Yes.
learned that there are different punters with different tastes and different wallets and different locations. And then
Not
also
everyone
we
is stuck
learned,
in Brisbane.
and we learned not to call the watches shitters without actually learning about them. And here is the time for Iggy to answer the super chat.
Okay, so I brought it up the Kodo by Grand Seiko, which was based on an earlier prototype. So this watch won the complication section for the GPHG, the watch Oscar. It was awarded for a revolutionary, groundbreaking watch design. The designer is a very young guy. Actually, he's a musician. He's an educated musician, and he was working like 10 years to create this thing.
Yeah.
So what you see here is Grand Seiko's first tourbillon that they made, but they went far above their comfort zone. So in chronometry, or when we're talking about high precise watches, there is one problem which is called constant force. And that is based on the problem that a mainspring, when it's fully wound, the torque is higher than when it's all running off. So the torque curve of a mainspring is not constant, while the watchmakers want a constant torque curve over the entire power reserve. So what you do is then you don't put the force from the mainspring directly to the escapement or to the tourbillon. You wind a different spring. You wind a different kind of barrel up, and that barrel then releases every 1 second or every 8 seconds its power then to the escapement, and then you're talking about a constant force because this varying curve doesn't apply. So what Grand Seiko was, they were adding a remontoir to a tourbillon, which is not new. I think FP Jaune made that. But what was special about Grand Seiko is they integrated that remontoir, which works for the constant force. They integrated it in the tourbillon cage. So the remontoir is not a separate part somewhere in the movement. It is underneath the tourbillon construction, and that gives a very unique visual appearance. And this is beating once per second from the remontoir, and I think 4 times per second from the tourbillon. So it's a very interesting concept, never done before, totally unique, very Grand Seiko.
Beautiful. By the way, Archie, NATO has a suggestion for your lazy show, talking watches in a constant format instead of relaxed format, constant format.
Constant. And we even have the Frederick Constantine format. How's that?
Isn't that one of your favorite brands to call shitter?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me try
CB is saying Brioni used to be on par with Kiton, but no more, in my opinion. CB, don't you think a tailored suit would be much better than an off-the-rack thing? It doesn't matter how much.
It was hot in the 90s. That was the suit to have. It was all
Yeah.
You
tailored.
should see
It was all
Archie
tailored.
suits with double-breasted suits. You know that Archie
Nobody
still
wears
has.
double-breasted now, do they?
They are so fucking cool, Archie. Next show, you super chat
Double-breasted.
$50. Archie will do in his double-breasted suit. You can probably fit it now. You lost the weight, so I think you will be okay.
You'll be like the
Look
Teflon
amazing.
Don, you know, in the
When,
breeding.
Yeah.
when
ground.
you
Absolutely
buy
not.
one of those super high end suits, don't they kind of come with custom tailoring along with the purchase? So you say,
Yeah,
I'll
they.
take that one, and they stand you up, and they take and make minute adjustments to it before you walk out the door with it, right?
Yeah, but it's different to a suit made for you. You know.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
very
agree.
different. But you wear a suit much, JJ? Society's gone so.
No, I don't. I never wear a suit.
You never wear a suit.
No.
Archie,
Yeah,
I've,
I mean,
I've
if I'm
put a-
going to like an occasion, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
Jonathan. Yes,
Archie,
Jonathan.
I've put a link to a video of the constant force in the
Oh,
in the
yes,
private
thank
chat because I can't play sound from my computer. I have no idea how to do that.
Okay, that's okay. I'm just
And it
getting
has
it
a
up
very
now.
distinctive tick.
I'm just getting it up now. Just bear with me. Here we go. I'm just bringing it up now. I'm going to share the screen. Let's get this. So this is the Grand Seiko Kodo Constant Force Tourbillon. So amazing piece of kit.
Hopefully
Let's
we
have a look.
Can you make it full screen? Can you make it full screen?
Probably mute the music.
The music is very important because you
Yeah,
have
leave
to
the
hear
music.
kick.
Yeah,
You can hear the music, can't you?
yeah, it's perfect.
That is a Romantor.
What do you think of that, Bear?
Impressive, of
Do you
course.
live in Australia?
And Bear, the best CBs just sent a super chat here. This is to put it into perspective, Bear. Archie,
Right.
CB, $5. Archie, Constant Force Grand Seiko or Polar Explorer? Polar!
Oh, come on, Archie! You can't be serious. I mean, we're working our asses off, and you ruined it all by one
No,
super
I
chat.
get it.
It's
That's an
unbelievable.
At least he's honest.
Yeah,
He's honest.
that's true. Yeah.
He's honest. We gotta respect that, eh? I do want to remind the Panthers, please, for you, if you want to choose the topic of the next ArchieLuxury live stream and make the Pontiff do the research and work hard, please, 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 super chat $25 with your topic, and that will be topic the date you choose, and it will have your name on it. Thank you all. Super chat.
DP $5. Great panel and discussion this evening. Thank you, DP.
Thank you very much,
It's very nice of you, DP.
And Sir Bell, SR Bell 67 $2. AC, please Google Blumpkin and read it aloud. Blumpkin.
No, not for $2. Don't even bother, Arch.
I agree with
yeah.
Mikey for $2. We just acknowledge that if you want him to read out loud, that's going to be at least $20. I'm sorry.
Sorry. This is the another Japanese watch.
That is
here.
another Japanese watch. Yes, I really enjoyed Bear's presentation yesterday.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to mention two other independent Japanese makers who are really doing outstanding work. And one is Kikuchi Nakagawa. He's doing that 96 inspired Patek Philippe 96 inspired case, and his claim is that he black polishes the entire case, and I've reached out to him to ask him how he does that. So it's a flat, totally mirror polished case, absolutely gorgeous. Have a look at those hands. Those hands, Roger W. Smith makes similar hands, and it's so difficult to polish those elements, those leaves on the top of the hands. It's totally incredible.
Oh my God! Look at our hand. That's amazing.
Yeah, the our hand is just
that is
astounding. Yeah.
There's a twist in it. It's not just simple.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think they're called freehands in French watchmaking.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So I just wanted to show you the
Could I
case.
throw it up? Wow.
Wow. As Krima White would say, wow. Yeah. I forgot the fucking Krima White impression. Hang on. Help me, somebody. Krima White impression.
Here are the hands.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. Oh, they're the hands.
Not
there's the black polishing. Interesting.
I would say it's not black polishing because, as far as I know, black polishing needs a flat surface. So those are high-end polish, but not black polish.
Is it a treatment done after the polish?
SR Bell, so. AC, would you let Mark G finish on you for 25? Sure. No worries. I'll take it.
Yeah, no animals are hurt. Everybody's fine. Nobody's hurt. No big deal. 25K, done deal. Okay.
Payment in front.
What watch would you buy with that 25K, Arch? What watch would you buy with it?
I'll buy that. I'd buy that Grand Seiko.
You can't
get it. You'd need a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
I think Grand
Seikos are on 350.
Ooh!
Unless they're on Joma Shop for a really steep
Russ,
discount. I don't think it's
Rachel
happening.
Brady, $5. Just want to send my love and support to Archie, Bear, Mike, JJ, and Higgins.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Ross, Rachel Brady. You're truly sweetheart. We love you, man.
Ross is one of my favorites. I think he's the ultimate troll. It's just my opinion. Like when he says things, I think he teases us. I think he gets into his Lamborghini and laughs as the show's over. He's like, "Ha, I got him again."
How is that? I think this company has wait lists for like 10 years.
Wow.
I can imagine.
Kikuchi Nakagawa.
Love his numbers.
Shit.
Do you think Austin Daniels is on the list for this in Japan?
I don't think so.
No.
I doubt that he knows. So and the other of those top three is Naoya Hida, who modifies that Valju movement, but heavily modifies it. And his shtick are those engraved numerals on the dial that he fills them out with lacquer, and I find those totally gorgeous.
And we got another super chat from CB. CB, $5. Archie, 3 years ago, if you saw someone that purchased a watch with a face of a clown on the dial, what feedback he would have gotten from you? Yes, he's talking about his constant chai can. You would have
Yeah,
said,
Archie.
China, waste of money.
Archie,
You would have got it all.
Archie, it seems that nobody's going to propose a topic, and you'll get
Yes.
lazy if they don't.
Lazy.
So I'm going to ask you to do a poll with a couple of different topics, and
Yes,
then people
sir.
can choose the topic.
Let me get this up for you now, sir. So we've locked in JJ. We locked in JJ for the link,
Oh, thank you.
and now we're locking in the. Where is it going here? Here we go. Yes. What's the poll? The starter poll.
The
Topic-
first topic one: the watch that got us into watches. The watch that got us into watches. Topic
The watch
two.
that got us into watches. Topic 2.
The topic two. Let's say.
Can you
let's
name
say-
that one there? The ultimate gateway watch or something cool so people understand. You know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah.
just
Okay, name it different. Thank you, JJ. Delete that and put what was your gateway watch? How's that?
yes,
Yeah.
something
Next
like
one.
Now, JJ, what is better for me? The watches I love, but I cannot justify enough to buy.
watches you love but you can't justify buying. What do
Dream
you-
watches you can't afford.
No,
Oh, I think he's
no,
saying
no,
more
no,
like
that-
your favorite guilty pleasure watches,
Yeah,
like
your
watches that you
favorite-
like but you won't buy.
There is a new topic.
Yeah.
There is a new topic, guys.
Oh,
Cosmic has got the new topic out there, but
There we
we
go,
still want to
Cos.
get some.
okay,
We'll still
and
get-
we'll go with that, and I'm still gonna ask people to vote. And what are your unpopular watch opinions? Or just put unpopular watch opinions. How's that?
Yes, that's
3
fantastic.
topics, and we can use
What's the
it.
second? I've only got 2.
Read me.
What-
My God.
What was your
Read me-
gateway watch? What are your unpopular watch opinions? And what's the next one?
And gateway watch and watches we love but cannot justify purchase.
Okay, and that can be, you can't justify it for not just financial.
And for any reason, like I'll give you mine now. It's a Breitling endurance, let's say, and I just love it. But I did buy it in the end. But I really struggle with buying the quartz plastic watch for that price.
Oh, just gotta mute myself for a few. I gotta take care of something.
No worries. That's okay, sir.
Archie, super chat, a new topic for next week.
Yes, we've got a
There
new
you go.
topic. This is the new topic from Cosmic $50. Sunday we'll make this next week, Bear. Sunday Independent Day.
We're gonna hang on. We're gonna make it when Jonathan can join us. So I'm assuming it will be the weekend, like a day in a weekend in Germany when he can wake up. I don't know. You tell us, Jonathan.
That's a pretty cool name, like Independence Day instead of like Independence, like Independence Day.
You know, it's always the same. I would appreciate if we could do it on a Sunday, just like now. Actually,
like
it's
now.
Monday morning, because next Saturday I would like to make a Swiss and John show, and so that would be then colliding with my regular
So
show.
what day is that to you, Ponce?
So today in 1 week,
So
That's
today
actually
in 1 week.
Monday. Yep. Next
if
week.
that
you
is okay for
Monday.
you guys.
Right. So that's perfect. Works for me, works for you, works for everyone. And JJ usually comes on because he has to promote his little channel.
I got to do my
Anyway,
bit. Got to do my
yeah.
bit.
So, but Bear,
And yeah,
would you allow me one small word of criticism? Because yesterday, when you were presenting Hajime Asaoka, you were saying
Yeah.
that Grand Seiko has no way to compete with those brands.
okay.
I would agree with you because
But before
those,
you start that,
yeah.
and I will listen carefully, Archie, did you post the poll?
Yes, the poll's running, sir.
and I think
don't see
also we must sure that this topic is not getting lost for next week.
No. Archie already knows the routine. He WhatsApp it to me
Okay.
so that I can do the research and also to remind Archie not to fuck around.
Okay. So when you're talking general about Grand Seiko, you're probably right. But Grand Seiko has a studio which is called Micro Artist Studios, and those are the best 10 watchmakers in the company and probably in the country. And that Micro Artist Studio does around 50 watches per year with 10 people. And that is absolutely high-end watchmaking. And I would say that the Micro Artist Studio is at least comparable to those. The Micro Artist Studio has an emphasis on very high end and very high quality movement finishing on their own movements. So I think the Micro Artist Studios watches have no fear to those cool independent Japanese watchmakers that we've just presented.
Fair enough. I respect that. Hey, listen, contrary to other people who criticize Grand Seiko, I was the owner of 4 different Grand Seikos in all shapes and forms.
And you flipped them out.
And I flipped them off. Actually, I still don't see the poll. Does anyone see the poll that I asked?
Doing it again.
Yeah. So we have a cosmic Sunday Independent Day, which is perfect, and it will be Gronfeld, which I actually know about and I admire, and Akrivia, which is from Recep Recepi, which I also like and admire. So for me, this is going to be enjoyable. I will obviously do a little more research. Both brands are quite remarkable, aesthetically appealing to me. I will enjoy this, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yes,
very much so.
Me too. 2 of my favorite brands, but with those cool independents, there are a lot of favorite brands. I must admit, they're really cool companies out there.
By the way, you're getting a lot of love and compliments in the chat, Jonathan. In all honesty, you are such a good guest, especially when the topics are requiring horological experience and knowledge. So thank you for being with us. I know you woke up early. And you know what, Archie, that shows you the value of putting a topic ahead of time, because people actually have a chance to see what the topic is going to be. And if they have interest in it, they'll join, or they'll join on a panel, or they'll join in a chat. And this is what I keep telling you. And I'm still waiting for this poll.
I don't know what's wrong. It's not working, Bear. I've just tried to do it 3 times. Something's wrong with my... There must be something wrong on StreamYard. Sorry about that, guys.
Nothing. I will just pick it myself, and I will give you the topic. So tomorrow, why don't you pick which one you want for tomorrow?
What was your gateway watch? I reckon that's a great topic. That's a great topic. What was your gateway watch? Fantastic topic. How could you not love that?
And for all the watch lovers that are on a panel, I would like you to know that Jonathan has his channel that are Swiss and John.
Yes, sir.
That I subscribe to. They do in-depth discussions on horological topics. Jonathan, can you please post the link to your channel? And Archie, can you pin it to the top so that people can subscribe?
1 second. I'll try to. Thank you very much for allowing me that. 1 second.
Tonight there's some people who are genuinely watch lovers, and why not give them the access to the channel that consistently provides that?
I just want to make sure, because the usual criticism comes, I'm spooking my channel. The channel, allow me one minute about the concept of the Swiss and John show. The Swiss and John show started when Swiss and I left another panel, and Mr. GMT was kind enough to finance the Swiss and John show, and the only purpose of the Swiss and John show is that my friend Swiss and we have a chance to talk about watches. It's just like two kids in a sand pit, and we are talking mostly about high-end watchmaking and independent watchmakers.
Awesome. Here is the link, Archie, if you want to pin it, please, to the top of the chat so people can join. Link is there. Go and please subscribe. And we have a super chat from
shots
ABC.
fired.
There we go. The link is pinned, and we got a super chat from ABC, £2. Jonathan Quayle Higgins' biggest mistake selling his modded sub.
Yeah, big mistake. I agree with you. Yes.
Do you miss it?
Sometimes, yes. It is not it doesn't really hurt super big, but sometimes I think back and think that I should have kept it.
What does he mean by modded sub?
I'm just pulling it up. So I have made that project.
The crown guards, Bear, look.
Yes, I removed the crown guards on the
You're
Rolex
nuts.
Submariner.
You're nuts. You're nuts. You're nuts.
You know, the idea behind was I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the vintage Rolex Submariners, and
you could just buy a Tudor. You could just buy a Tudor Black Bay, Bear.
No, the Black Bay didn't exist back then. And I'm a big fan of the vintage Rolex Submariners without crown guards. The Submariner started without crown guards, and I kept on saying, if Rolex would issue such a watch tomorrow, people would storm the Rolex boutiques. And because Rolex doesn't do that, I made my own. But it was not only modifying the crown guards. There were some other subtle modifications that I did. And this watch is what keeps Mr. GMT going. Every time he sees this watch, he can't stop yelling at me how stupid I was. And
CB, $5. Jonathan knows his watches, and many of us appreciate his contribution. Knowledge is king.
Thank you very much.
Well
you know another person that does these kind of things is Doc BBW. He has no issue with modifying Rolex watches, and
but he makes reversible mods.
Yeah, he makes reversible mods. True.
That was certainly not reversible. What I did there.
No, this is not reversible. Holy shit! How did you do that? What did you do?
I found a very cool guy who was very energized with the project. I know that he was working on the case alone for 24 hours. Because it is a step-by-step process. I was insisting that the crown tube and everything remained original. I was insisting all the seals were still operable, and that the watch was water resistant. And I got some massive criticism for doing that, but I've been also receiving a lot of compliments. And when I had to sell this watch because I bought my first Porsche and I needed the money, I sold it to a very good friend who approached me right at the beginning when the watch was ready. He approached me and he told me, whenever you sell this watch, please sell it to me, and that is what I did.
Interesting.
And he still owns the watch.
You see, my love for vintage, which is unattainable, I manage that by purchasing something like this. You want to go full screen, Archie, just to show?
Sure.
So there is your vintage looking
Steinhardt.
Right. But obviously I bought this because of my love for the original Pepsi Bakelite bezel, which is done in ceramic to look
Andy
like
Hunter
a
loved these too. Hunter loved these.
So I can understand the appeal. I can just like my way of dealing with that disease is slightly different and probably cheaper. So there you go. That's my answer to vintage Rolex.
Very fascinating.
Why is my microphone always muted? I don't get it. So.
I didn't touch your microphone.
What's your opinion on that, Jonathan?
About Steinhardt?
And I think, Anything you want to say? I'm
I'm not a fan
not
because
Steinhardt, not Steinhardt, not
Okay.
Steinhardt.
It's more the
Specifically
homage
specific-
watches. Homage.
to me it doesn't scratch my itch, to be honest. I need the real deal. It doesn't scratch the itch that I'm feeling.
See,
bring
what
bring up
Jonathan's
Eric-
done is
Bring up Eric L's comment. That's funny. Fakeolite bezel. It's not a Bakelite. It's a Fakeolite bezel.
see
You're
what
funny.
the difference is. Okay, so let me just put this in perspective. It's like what Bear has got is like getting a Volkswagen and turning it into a Porsche by a body kit.
No, not true. Not true.
Whereas what
Absolutely not
Jonathan
true.
does, instead of getting a Gullwing Mercedes, he gets a brand new SL and does
Yeah.
some mods to make it back to a vintage
Okay.
Gullwing
Yeah, I
Mercedes. So
think-
it is still a
Okay.
Mercedes. It's a
Exactly.
Mercedes DNA.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
whereas Bear is using it looks like a Porsche. It doesn't smell like a Porsche. It doesn't drive like a Porsche.
But it's cheaper.
But
But it's cheaper.
you're not,
Can you
you're
please
not
bring
losing a lot of money.
Jimmy's comment? Last Jimmy's comment, please.
Here we
Read it,
go.
Archie.
He goes, I only buy homage cardigans face to face. There we go.
Interesting.
Yeah, just keep in mind, back then the Tudor Black Bay didn't exist when I did that.
Do you like the new 54?
I like it. I must be careful liking it because people will go after me and calling me a hypocrite because I went after Archie for girl size Patek Philippe all the time, and now
That's
I'm
what's
endorsing a
happening to me.
37mm Tudor. So you have a point.
But see, you don't measure the size.
Yeah.
It's not the size that counts.
And
It's
Archie, when I was selling Rolex, the Epitone was a day date, which was 36, and nobody was questioning the size back then.
No.
True.
No.
Don't forget, gentlemen, that we owe Ron the Shrink one more watch, which is Resonance 5. So that's
Resonance.
the opportunity for Archie to talk about his favorite topic, and that is oil-filled watches.
Yes, Bear.
Resonance
I'm
5.
just bringing that up now, Bear. The Resonance Type 5. The Type 5 you're talking about, correct?
No, not me. It was Ron the Shrink. I'm not a big
Yes.
fan of Resonance, to be very honest with you. It's not a watch I would ever be interested in. By the way,
You ever handled one?
No. I just look. I don't like the idea. I know what the idea is. I mean, Archie believes that oil has to do with the water resistance, water pressure, while in reality, it's all about the visibility of the dial from different angles. So it's like basically making the access to view of the dial perfect from every possible angle. It's the only reason I'm saying, and I know about the rotation of the dial and all that, and how it's unique and it's winding and all that. So I am familiar. Primarily, you know what? Where I learned the most about this watch from Tim Asso. He spruiks these watches quite a bit. I don't know why.
Do you need to service it if it's filled with oil, Jonathan?
The movement is not filled with oil. That is the trick. It's only the display.
Between the dial and the sapphire.
Because otherwise it wouldn't work. Just imagine the balance wheel that ticks 4 or 5 times per second. That wouldn't move in oil.
I see.
It is unique watch. It is unique watch, no question about it. But I did the research on them before. They're interesting. Just this would not be something I would ever buy.
Look, I've been asking if you handled one because I had one in hands, and the effect is quite stunning because your mind cannot compute what you see because of the lack of reflections, and that apparently that display is totally glued on the inside of the crystal. But I understand when you say it's too cartoonish, probably from a design standpoint, or too minimalistic.
There's no crown. Did you know that, Bear?
Yeah, this is why I said it's a unique way of winding the watch and setting the time. It is basically done by rotating the whole watch. But I think what Higgy is telling us is exactly that's the main selling feature. It is the surreal
30,000 Swiss francs. Not that we're talking about money.
We don't talk about money
It's
here,
a-
Arch. You know.
Yeah.
It's a surreal feeling of looking at that dial, right? Because you're right. It's
Mm.
kind of like brings out the dial in the most surreal way to your vision, which is remarkable. That part is intriguing. I don't know if there is any other brands. I read in a chat that Zin has done something similar, but I'm not familiar with Zin.
Yeah, but that
oil-filled
is an
watches.
oil diver's watch based on a quartz movement, because with quartz it works when you have an oil-filled diver's watch, and
I see.
the beautiful thing about an oil-filled diver's watch is that it's infinitely water resistant.
And there goes Archie's point on that. Just wasn't resins, it's a Zin. Archie, moment to shine. The resistance, water resistance, Archie. Water resistance.
Water resistance. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Archie.
It's this brand Resins. You're a big fan of them, Jonathan, or not? They're very
not really. I'd rather invest 50,000 in a Lange or some other high-end
Yeah.
watchmaker. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard about a high-end watchmaker called Simon Brett?
yes.
No.
Because he
You did,
introduced
Archie?
the watch of the year.
Yeah. I'm not I don't know much about them. Jonathan, sorry.
I want to bring
CB,
up the comment
$5.
from Ron the Shrink before this, just to wrap up the
Sorry.
resins thing. He says
Yes.
he handled one of these several years ago, and it was bananas. I never seen anything like it since. It's like a mechanical digital. watch.
Mm.
So the feel of that resonance, this is what left impression on him. And I understand that's exactly what Higgins was referring to, the surreal look of the dial. So go ahead, question. CB has a super chat for Jonathan.
CB, $5. Jonathan, which is your favorite Urwek in the current collection?
I have a hard time between three different models: the 120, 220, and the King Cobra. And I think the King Cobra would have the edge overall. That is the watch that is based on the Patek Philippe prototype Cobra watch.
Wow.
Actually, would you mind bringing Patek Philippe Cobra watch prototype,
Sure.
the one that they did the actual, they were inspiration for Erwerk? And then,
Yes,
if you
sir.
don't mind, could you bring the Cobra from Erwerk so that we can see the DNA of one and the other?
Sure, no
This
problem.
this
at
watch
all.
from Patek was never available for sale.
No, it was only a prototype.
Here we go. Actually, here's a comparison, Bear. Look at this.
Oh,
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
there you go.
I did
And you
my
can-
research, Bear.
Very
Hey,
good, Archie. I
Arch.
couldn't find that picture so quick.
Arch, I gotta hop off. Thanks for having me on. I gotta go set up. I got
JJ, thank you so much for coming on, man. We love you.
JJ,
Great. I got the
JJ.
link going to you.
Thank
JJ,
you.
have a
Your
good show.
performance, your performance today was mediocre but acceptable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I
JJ.
appreciate the feedback. Very positive.
Please tell my best regards to the boy over there.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. All right. Bye-bye.
Guys, you will be transferred to JJ's live stream after we finish tonight in about 20 minutes. JJ's got a very interesting topic for his live stream, and it is the favorite and least favorite watch complications. So it's something, it has a great group of guys there charting the watches. Please remember to support JJ's channel. He's a great guy, always supporting Archie, always being a good friend. And also remember to subscribe to Jonathan Quayle Higgins and John and Swiss channel. The link to this channel is posted on the top of the chat. I think a couple of people said they subscribed. It's a great live stream attacking the true horological issues and stories, and great two very knowledgeable gentlemen discussing the horological independence and other interesting topics. So please subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
And here we go. This is the prototype with the Urwek. What do you think,
Yeah.
Bear?
I think I wish that Patek actually produced that. That would be very cool.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you. Different.
Yeah, totally different, but maybe a little bit too bold for Patek Philippe. But this particular watch has me thinking, and I keep on saying, just imagine how many skilled product developers Rolex employs or Patek Philippe employs, and part of their job is to create such crazy things. Now, when you're working for a company like Patek or Rolex, most of your work ends in a bin, unfortunately. So I'm pretty sure that Rolex has some incredible prototypes in their development department, but they never become reality because the marketing department says this is not Rolex, so we can't do that. But for sure, they're very skilled and very creative people working for those companies.
Very, very true point there. And that's the thing. How many prototypes never will see the light of day because a lot of things were destroyed as well. They didn't just keep them for the sake of it.
Yeah, exactly.
They killed.
I've been
like
working for Mont Blanc, and I've seen a lot of prototypes that never reached the market, and there were incredible ideas behind that. And just the marketing department then said, no, we're not going to do that.
If you guys don't mind, I want to bring the question from Real Money, always supporting us, also member of the chat, member of the channel. Archie, here's a question for us, and
Yes.
this is he's looking at the pre-owned Yachtmaster 40mm blue dial, which is a beautiful watch. The watch has box but no papers. The price is slightly more than 1,000 under the, I'm assuming, other gray market prices. Can I be very frank and honest with you? When it comes to the modern Rolex, I have a problem buying without the papers. There is no reason for modern Rolex not to have the papers. I think you're risking a little bit here. I think you are probably for $1,000. Also, I don't know if you actually research the seller. Is it someone reputable? Is it someone that you can actually return the product to if the things don't go right? Is it someone that would honor if the watch is reported stolen and refund you money? Or it's someone that you pay to and then you never see them again? So those are all the questions that I would research before I make this decision. Watch itself is one of my favorite Rolex steel pieces. This is beautiful steel piece with a platinum bezel with stunning blue dial. It is, and I actually did a video on it when I was still running my channel, calling it the most beautiful steel Rolex, and I stand behind it. It is elegant. It's thin as Daytona, wears perfectly on the wrist. It is grade above the sub, and that blue dial certainly, in a contrast with a gorgeous platinum bezel, looks amazing. Super chat from Real Money, $5. He is giving us further information.
$5, correct. Thanks, Bear. Reputable dealer. Yeah, I think. Look. The Yachtmaster itself, they are plentiful. They are a plentiful watch. They're not that hard to find. I'd probably hold out to get the papers for it. You know, Bear. I didn't really care. I was always about the deal.
I don't care. I care, but I can be understanding when it's a vintage Rolex. I can tolerate that for a different mentality of that time, and it's just not. It's a normal thing to see. When it comes to modern Rolex, or usually without the papers, raises a lot of questions. But being it's from a reputable dealer, I bought, and it's funny. I bought Yachtmaster. Which was one of my favorite, the one with the red second-hand white dial, platinum dial, and it ended up when it had a little chip on, and I'm obsessive. I sent it for a service, and it was stolen. It was stolen watch. So the dealer was a reputable dealer, which refunded my money. But if this was someone that actually just disappeared, I would be completely out of luck. And this is why I say, if it's a reputable dealer and you have ways of returning to him in case there's a problems, certainly then you're saving yourself $1,000. CB, the godfather of the channel, has a question, actually comment for Jonathan.
Yes,
Jonathan,
CB.
I expected you pick that model. I'll be happy with. Can you read? I don't have glasses. I don't see it.
Yeah,
Can you
I'll
read
be
it?
happy with a 105. That's the 105.
The
Urwek.
105 is nothing to look down on, and if you're happy with the 105, more power to it. The question was just what is my favorite model out of the collection, and that was my reply. But the 105 is fantastic. Going to the discussion, paper or no paper. I hate to talk about reselling a watch, because I say you must be sure when you're buying a watch that this will be forever, and don't think about resale value. But the 1,000 that you save right now, because the watch doesn't have the papers, the 1,000 you will lose then if you resell the watch, because it will be very difficult to sell it on a private basis.
Very, very fair point there. It's I got to tell you, Jonathan, it's interesting to have these discussions on these independents. Do you have a formula? You say, well, I've got to have so many big name, like so many Lange, so many Rolex. How do you work out how you allocate what watches, or it's just watches you like? You think, oh, I really like it. What's the driving force?
I think the driving force is not the number of watches that you stacked up previously. It is a personal journey, and not many people are willing to make that personal journey, just like my friend Swiss and I have been doing. So it's not for everybody, and that is a good thing, because those independents will not be able to supply those masses to all the standard collectors. This is just a part of a personal journey that you're on, and either you enjoy it just from a spectator point of view, like you go in the theater and listen to nice music, or if you're buying a Stradivari and start playing yourself. It's all
Right.
up to you, and there is not a secret formula how many watches you have.
And if you do buy a Stradivari and you don't know how to play the violin very well, you're still going to sound like shit. Did you know that?
That is true. That is true.
CB,
Very true. Very true.
$10. Archie, pull up the Urwek 105 and do a nice critical comment, please.
Did you pull it up?
Kudoke, let's get. Oh, I just lost my screen. Let me get that up again
So
for him.
you will have to tell him what you like, what you don't like so much, and how good of a purchase it would be. And this is strictly coming from you, Archie. CB wants you to do this.
Yes, the Erwerk 105. This is the one that is CB's favorite, which is this watch here. A critical
like that
comment.
one.
I got to tell you, CB has very good taste. Don't you agree, Bear?
No, this has nothing to do with Bear, my friend. You are on your own. Please handle this super chat. Thank you.
Okay, so Bear, I would say this. So tell us what you like. What I like about it is I like the fact that it has that the date. Sorry, the time and minutes is at the front there. Very easy to understand, even though it's a concept type watch. It's easy to read, and the thing I love about it is the fact that that top part comes off. Just have a look here. It's like a convertible. You can actually open it up to see more workings.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like about it is the price.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as far as a purchase goes, you know what? If you're going to buy an Erwerk, you want to buy something that is very much, it stands out like an Erwerk. And I think this model does. It's not circular. It's not a normal type of watch. This stands out as being a very much an Erwerk. You look at it, go Erwerk. Oh, it's not a confusion. Is it a Richard Mille? Is it an MB&F? This is an Erwerk. It's one of the classic.
Can I ask you,
designs
Pontive,
there.
in relation to your comment you just made, would you personally find the Erwerk more appealing to you or Richard Mille?
I love this one here too. This is another. This is the UR112. I love that. It looks like a clock radio. You were saying, do I find the Urwek more appealing to me or a Richard Mille?
Right.
I got to be totally honest with you, Bear.
Hmm.
I'd probably go the Richard Mille.
See, not me.
Now, the
I have
reason
to
why
tell
is
you-
because I want the hype. I want the kudos. I want
Well,
the...
they're both hype. Don't kid yourself. They're both hype. The reason why I like this, there is a certain more of a design. The artistic feel of the watch is more. It's a. I like what Ron the Shrink did here. He says this is like a 1920s fused with future. The Art Deco of the watch is quite obvious. The steampunk, the look of the watch is something
You
very
love
appealing
steampunk,
aesthetically.
don't you?
Art Deco is more my appeal. I see more Art Deco in this than steampunk, even though there is both, right? There is both elements. So to me, that design appeals more to me than Richard Mille. They're both technologically superior watches, and in all honesty, I'm not shitting on Richard Mille. How can I? I'm talking design. That's all. And they both have a very unique approach to the building the movement, the materials, the uniqueness of the movement, the architecture of the movement. But I wanted to hear you, Pontif, what you prefer.
Thank you so much there. I got to tell you, that's a very good question. You know what? Can I say this to you? You're gonna hate me, but I'm telling you the honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go with the Richard Mille because I could sell it easier.
Why would I hate you? Why would I hate you?
know, because it's not about the money. It's what we like. You know, if I had the guts, I think the Erwerk could be a one and done for me, Bear. That's it.
If you had the guts. Okay.
Yes.
Honest
I'm
answer,
too
Archie. I
cap-
always admired your transparency and honesty.
Mm.
Never change that. Never change that.
Archie, the show is approaching the end, and I would like to
Yes, sir.
to show you and the viewers a very cool project that Urwek did a couple of years ago for Macallan whiskey. I have it in the background.
Yes,
And
sir. Just calling it up.
So I'm probably shooting myself in my foot. The story is a very so those are totally sold out. Those were $2,500. Those were flask made by Urwek for Macallan, and they are totally sold out. And a friend of mine and I, we were watching for those flasks on the secondary market, and there was one. I found one, and I told my friend, "Get it. I'm not that desperate getting it. Please, you get it, and I'm getting the next." He got it for I think $2,700 US. I've never seen one appearing back on the market. So this is a flask created by Urwek.
Bear's just pulled out his Fabergé egg, just out of interest there.
No, I have something else I want to show you.
Okay.
Read the super chat from CB, please.
Sorry. So okay. Sorry, this was the flask. Sorry, just the flask. The flask. Sorry, we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
CB $5. Erwerk looks like they are designed by Jules Verne.
Jules Verne.
Archie,
Jules Verne.
you
Jules
did
Verne.
good. Jules Verne. Thank you.
Do you know who Jules Verne is, Archibald?
No.
Do you know who Jules Verne is? He's a great
No.
writer. Do you know the 20 Leagues Under the Sea?
Ah,
Do you know
yes.
Okay.
There you go.
And this is why I want to show the design that appeals to me, which is kind of like that. This is like a sculpture that I love. That's the type of I'm talking Jules Verne, I'm talking steampunk, there's something very cool about that aesthetic. Done. Go back to
Then
Figgy.
Urwek is right in your alley, I would say. So this flask is a work of engineering. Not only the fact that it is done by Urwek, it has two tanks made of titanium, and the unique features is that you can label the tank 1 and tank 2. You can put different kind of signs, and now comes the trick, and I'm pretty sure Archie knows the dilemma. So you have a very expensive whiskey that you enjoy for yourself, but then a friend is asking you, can I taste it? Can I try it? And you're a little bit hesitant in sharing the expensive whiskey with him. Now, Urwek has found a solution for that, because you can see that knurled ring here on the top that says tank 1. You can flip that over to tank 2, where you have the cheap stuff for other people, and you can flip between those two tanks.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so
it's
fantastic.
Super high-end construction, and I really love what they've done there. Never did it
Your
again.
friend has it. Does he love it? Does he love it?
He totally loves it. Yeah. He loves it because he got it for a good price. When you find one, they are $7,000 to $8,000 usually. So if anyone finds such a flask for around $2,000, $3,000, please reach out to me and let me know.
Yes, what a amazing.
Are
you a whiskey fan yourself? You're a whiskey drinker yourself?
I'm a whiskey drinker myself, but not for the crazy fancy stuff. I'm a big fan of Glenfarclas. And
Glenfarclas is fantastic.
Yeah, the most I did was 25 years old.
That's good stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a single malt. That's a great whiskey.
Yeah.
Glenfarclas has some amazing. What's Bear showing us here?
This is the love for Gilles Verne. The Gilles Verne, love for Gilles Verne, and love for one of my favorite brands, Mont Blanc. So now that you reminded me of Gilles Verne, here is a beautiful pen, Mont Blanc pen. See, there you go, and here we go, beautiful pen.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I am huge fan of Gilles Verne. That's just a combination of things. A beautiful engraving on it.
Wow, look at that.
I don't know if you can see it.
Very nice.
I am a huge fan of Mont Blanc, by the way.
You must talk with Sart and me about your Mont Blanc collection one day.
Yeah, I have a solid collection of Mont Blanc. Not just pens, I also have leather goods, I have sunglasses, I have everything from Mont Blanc you can imagine. And I'm a huge fan of the brand. I have only one watch from Mont Blanc. That's the IC with the beautiful blue dial.
Are you still enjoying it?
Yeah. I think it's a gorgeous dial. That dial is beyond for the price. My goodness.
Yeah.
And I just wanted kind of to acknowledge CB's comment about Gilles Verne. I get excited about that. And so this is the pen. This is just gorgeous.
Wow.
Gorgeous. Anyway, I don't want to take too much attention from you, Archie. Just wanted to.
CB, $5. There is the right way, the wrong way, and the German way. It is not wrong, just complicated.
I think you summed up us Germans pretty well, CB.
We've had some fantastic support from CB tonight. I must say thank you so much for the support. In fact, let's go through some of the fantastic super chats that have come through here to thank all the people involved. We had Cosmic, Ron the Shrink, Thomas Burdett, Anthony Napoli, Ron the Shrink, Cosmic, Ron the Shrink, Yankee Doodle, Mobster, Cosmic, $100 from Cosmic there. The Watch Lounge, CB, 0000, CB, 0000, CB, CM, Punk 83, Cosmic, CB, SR Bell, Ross Rachel Brady, CB, Cosmic, ABC, CB, and what can I say? CB. So I want to say, what a fantastic Bear. This is actually, I got to give you some praise. Your idea was get rid of those fucking boring generic titles. Today was amazing.
It's not just getting out of. It's not getting out of boring generic titles. It's actually getting off the mode of being lazy, of being inert, of coming on a stream to just turn the lamp on and hope that the mods are going to stick to it. Yeah, I want to see your channel prosper. I want to give acknowledgement that we are, after all, watch community channel. That the majority of our supporters are people who are into watches, into horology, and not into endless
and don't
talks
forget
about
too,
nonsense.
the boss Tan himself also made a PayPal. Don't forget the Tan,
Never.
the man.
I would never forget about Tan, because Tan is my inspiration for what we did on the change of this. I was watching. I'm not saying we're going to remain to be always so professional, because we need to have our shtick as well. But watching Tan and Jonathan do pre-shows and the quality of that of those shows is really what moves in the right direction. So that's all. And tonight, a big thank you to Jonathan for waking up early and joining us and bringing class and knowledge and everything that he brings to our stream.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
And I
Thank
hope
you so much.
I hope we made you proud as well, Jonathan. I hope we did good as well for you.
Totally. My compliments to you, Bear. You put some effort and some research into those brands, and I hope that it was not only for the pontiff but for your own enjoyment.
Very true.
Let me finish with one word. Let's keep in mind we are all here for the love of watches. No matter if you love Steinhardt, if you love Rolex, or if you love those totally crazy independents, we are all here for the love of watches. And I think it's the topic is so wide and so open, and it is just like a variety of restaurants that you can pick your food off, and that is what makes that hobby so amazing.
Well said.
Okay, guys, we'll be back. I'll be streaming in 9 hours' time, and I'll be back tomorrow. See you later, guys.
Please upvote. Please upvote. Thank you.